All right. How do what's the introduction I normally do for these? Knock knock internet. I'm Periodic Pete. I still don't have a consistent intro for these kinds of things, but that's fine because my live streams don't get a whole lot of viewership anyways. So I've been wanting to do this a long time. These two friends of mine who I really respect and also are big fans of Warhammer. Back with us again is Ionios.
Hello, huh?
And I Know Nothing. And also, this is I Know Nothing.
Yo.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah. Anyone who is from Team Jack would be familiar with him. And I was looking forward to this because, to my understanding, both of you, Ionius, I know you are much more knowledgeable on Warhammer than I am. And I figure, because I'm more so new to Warhammer, I've seen a bunch of their animations, and as of recently, I finished reading, or rather listening to an audiobook that you recommended to me, I Know Nothing, based on Hell's Reach. And I just figured that this would be a cool stream where we could all just kind of talk about our experiences with Warhammer and maybe even kind of educate me a little bit more on the lore and anyone else about the world of Warhammer, stories that you guys like, and that kind of stuff. So let's, I guess, start things off with how exactly did you guys get into Warhammer? We'll start with you. I Know Nothing. How about you tell us what was your first experience with Warhammer?
My first experience with Warhammer was it being brought up in casual conversation with my editor for my book, actually. He is a huge Warhammer junkie, and he just mentioned things here and there, and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. And then, in the same way that I recommended for you, actually, he recommended me the first thing I should read would be Hell's Reach, and then after that, I just snowballed.
Ah.
I've started playing the tabletop, I've got a few armies, and... well, the plastic crack is gonna get to me one of these days.
Yeah. No, I get that. And you, Ionius, how did you first find out about Warhammer?
I actually, I started with the tabletop game. I had a friend who was really into it, and
an honored battle brother.
Indeed, yeah, he's like, hey, why don't you come over to my house? I'll break out some pieces, let you borrow an army, and we'll play. And I was like, all right, let's give this a go. And so I played. I eventually got my own armies. I played Nids, Tyranids, and orcs, because of course everybody has to play orcs at some point.
Oh yeah,
I did play orcs once.
They are the best.
I've heard that there's a lot of dice rolling with orcs.
Oh, there's so much dice, and it's so great.
That's awesome.
Necrons and Dark Angels for me.
They're also just really silly broken in ways when you make your own models with them, like, because you can
so good.
you can always find somebody to buy fully built models off of, but if you spend the time to make your own, they're one of the ones that they reward you effectively for making your own, because you can kit bash and fit fun and weird weapons or armor, and that counts as part of the game.
When you say make your own, you mean like actually make your own models, or do you mean like actually kind of mix certain models that aren't necessarily meant to be part of like the same squad, or what?
Yes.
Okay.
The usual way is both. Like there's base templates that they give you.
Gotcha.
For a lot of the sets that they always come in with a base gray, because gray is the easiest to paint over.
Yeah.
And
you should still use it.
Correct. Remember, one thick coat.
Yes. you use a base coat before you do any painting, regardless.
Is that I've heard lots of memes about use paint thinner for God's sake, or stuff like that. The horror stories of like miniatures that just look like hideous abominations. It's part of the reason why I've not bought any minis myself.
The most famous one is well, here, I'll send it. I'll send it.
Yeah,
in, chat
if I
real
can
quick.
find.
I have this saved.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can.
I mean, let's be honest. That looks more like somebody shoved it in a microwave first. But
I mean,
here, let's see if I can pull that up on screen.
some
God.
what's that villain from SpongeBob?
Plankton?
Manta.
Oh, Man Ray. Man Ray.
Man Ray, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he looks like.
He's gonna ask
Here.
him, "Is this your wallet, Space Marine?"
It's not my wallet. He's got the belt and everything. God damn it, OBS, please work with me. All right, hold on.
Oh, yeah, I apologize.
No, it's fine.
We're talking about the picture, but the audience can't see
Yeah,
it.
here. No, it's fine. I just gotta change the
So sorry
opacity.
about that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's my fault. I need to. I gotta figure out like a better way to be prepared with like these kinds of like when images kind of because I want to. I had kind of a general idea that I would just kind of show some video in the background as we're talking from like the Astartes animation or from the Hell's Reach animation, the fan animation on YouTube, which is really well put together from what I've seen.
Don't do anything with Games Workshop official animation. They
That's-
will destroy you.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
fan anime. What? What did I? There is no Hell's Reach animation. What was I talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
Well, and actually, I was gonna kind of throw that out in terms of like figures too. Of just the reason I stopped playing ages ago was just that buying armies is so bloody expensive.
Yeah.
The plastic crack.
Yeah, and so I promised myself that I would never buy another army. I would have to buy myself a 3D printer and make them that way.
Yeah, no, all right. So coming from someone
Because
who,
I refuse to support that group.
yeah,
Mm.
coming from someone who used to and is still kind of a fan of Magic the Gathering, Warhammer. Look, if I got into Warhammer minis, it would probably be easily the single most expensive hobby that I would probably be into.
Well, the quote unquote like starter set is like $200.
Yeah, well, there's also a couple different starter sets, but yeah, they all seem to be around like that
No.
general price range. And I mean, despite that price range, I was very tempted when the Leviathan set came out because
Oh, God.
Nah, man. Just buy yourself a 3D printer. It's a better initial investment.
Oh, no,
probably about the same price,
yeah.
and
No,
then you can make as many of them as you want.
Absolutely. Because I already have a 3D printer right now. I've just not gotten. I need to hunt down the STL files that do not exist.
Of course they don't.
Yeah, of course. Honestly, I would prefer it if I had a resin printer, because resin printers, just the quality on those look absolutely insane. The problem is storing it, because resin printers
That's not the only problem.
using
That
a lot
won't be
of
the only problem.
chemicals is the other thing. The smell, the
No, there's a couple of steps with resin printers, right? You have to cure them afterwards, so it takes a second machine.
yeah.
And they're also highly sensitive to things like humidity.
Yeah, which
You've got a temperature control them. Blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's another problem with where I live, is that I'm not so I can't really use a resin printer in my tiny ass apartment, which, I mean, the humidity also, I just live in a very humid area in general, but at some point I would like to print out a Tyranid army just in general, because and I guess while I'm talking about Tyranids, let's maybe talk about like what are your favorite factions, and maybe give a little bit of background on those factions, what drew them to you, I guess.
You can go first, my guy.
I mean, sure. Orcs are easy because orcs are just a lot of crack fun, right? I mean, you get the orky accent. I can't even do the proper. It's like a cross between Cockney rhyming slang and basically having your jaw shifted out of place.
Yeah, that's what that's what I've been told is that you. I'm not even sure if I can do a Cockney.
Yeah, no, it's rough to replicate.
I can do the
Um,
jaw bit.
Don't even
I'm
try.
just, yeah.
But as for other factions, I'm a big fan of Tyranids because, well, I grew up playing StarCraft, and actually, fun fact for you, the Zerg were inspired by Tyranids
Oh, really?
because the original StarCraft was supposed to be a Warhammer game.
Huh.
But they
Interesting.
didn't get the license for it, I think.
Correct. They were denied the license, and therefore they went, fine, we'll
Fuck it.
just figure something else out, run off of our own rules, and they did.
That's interesting.
And it kind of feels to me like they actually made it better in the long run because StarCraft for a long time was more famous than Warhammer. So, but
Well, Games Workshop and Fumbling and IP, name a more like iconic duo.
true.
Yeah.
The big joke in the community is that you're not a true Warhammer fan until you truly hate Games Workshop.
But that's the worst thing about it, right? Is like you love the IP, but the people who run it don't deserve to own it. So
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Not
I
at all.
mean, and I feel like, well, I guess, well, I feel like Disney doesn't. Well, I mean, there's people who I think want Disney to make good movies. They like the properties that Disney has. They just don't like Disney at all. And I mean, I feel like what I'm saying is like I feel like there's a couple of other companies that are like that. But it feels like with Games Workshop especially, there are a lot of people who are fans of Warhammer, but who just in
Indeed,
such
right.
large density compared to those other companies do not like this particular company that is in charge of this IP that they like.
yeah,
Well-
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the bigger things that soured the fans on GW in general is that I took down Emperor has a text-to-speech device
Yes!
on YouTube.
God.
I took down that series right
And the
before it
worst-
was about to do amazing stuff.
Yeah, I know. I was so pissed off. Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta go off. Okay, because now I'm gonna
Great.
talk about how I was introduced to Warhammer. So I knew about Warhammer beforehand, and I knew only just a little bit about it. Skipping ahead a little bit about like my actual first experience with Warhammer. Eventually, Ionios recommended what if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device, which was like just I was like, you know, sure, it sounds honestly like just the name
It
itself
is-
it sounded interesting to me because it sounds like the title of a Japanese isekai, but like it was Warhammer. You know, it's like one of those.
it is a very good introductory material.
Yeah, it's-
that's easily palatable, funny, and lets you get a feel of like that you can start to understand this big, wild, buggered up world that is Warhammer.
Yeah.
100%.
I was surprised with it going into it because I was like, okay, maybe I'll probably have to like, you know, guess a little bit about what certain things mean or who certain characters are because I'm not familiar with this. But no, it was just straight up an introduction to the Warhammer universe. The concept of it was basically that one day, what's the golden faction name again?
Custodes.
Custodes.
The
Yeah.
Custodes.
Eventually found out, hey, we have the technology for a text-to-speech device. What if we hitch that up to our good old God Emperor on the throne, and then we could finally communicate with him after how long has it been since the Horus
Well,
Heresy?
To give an example of things, the Rogue Trader monologue goes, and I quote, "It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 centuries, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods and the master of a million worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass, breathing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. Yet, even in his deathless state, the Emperor continues his eternal vigilance. Mighty battle fleets across demon-infested miasma of the warp, the only route between distant stars, they're waylit by the Astronomicon, the psychic manifestation of the Emperor's will. Vast armies give battle in his name on uncounted worlds. Greatest among his soldiers are the Adeptus Astartes, the Space Marines, bioengineered super soldiers. Their comrades in arms are Legion, the Imperial Guard, and the countless planetary defense forces, the ever-vigilant Inquisition, and the activities of the Adeptus Mechanicus, to name only a few. But in all the twos, they are barely enough to hold off the aliens, heretics, mutants, and worse. To be a man in such times is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. There is no peace amongst the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter and the laughter of thirsting gods.
And yeah,
Well done.
what a fucking introduction to the Warhammer universe. Like, what a fucking amazing monologue.
I love it
Oh,
so
yeah.
much.
Yeah. And then and then text to speech.
And well,
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
real fast, I want to throw out that the reason why that text to speech is such a big thing to them is because, as was kind of sort of subtly mentioned in the little monologue there, at this point, mankind has lost more, forgotten more technology than they'd ever created, like than they have now at all. They've gone from what was effectively a hyper spacefaring dominant race into barely feudal systems, to the point that most of humanity's planets are set in effectively medieval times of our world.
Yeah.
Yes,
there's
except
entire
for the fact,
planets.
yeah, the highest levels of nobility on those planets are the only ones with any technology, and they have maybe las pistols and a couple of mechs. You know, these guys. Humanity is so fractured, it's not funny.
Yeah. I remember seeing like an animation a while back, or like about the misadventures of like some orc and I think a mechanicus. Don't ask. I don't know either. Where they're traveling across the galaxy for them to find an ancient. They're looking for an air fryer because they want to make some fried chicken. And like you think when you're like an uninitiated person when you're uninitiated to Warhammer like I was, you think that's so ridiculous. Surely that this isn't. And then when you find out, oh no, they really have lost so much technology that like we have now just because of how royally fucked everything is, that it becomes humorous to an extent. It's so fascinating, Warhammer just as a universe. How its setting is both so dark and at the same time there's a lot of like setup for that kind of, I feel, almost ironic humor, ironic dark humor almost to an extent, which is just I think is part of what made it so perfect for a parody like text-to-speech device to just go all in, because, and going back to like just summarizing text-to-speech device, so because that show was basically about after the God Emperor finally has a voice to be able to communicate with. No, this is what we do. Yeah, no, just to clarify, I know nothing. Something that we also like to do a lot is go on massive tangents, talk about real talk. I forgot to mention this, is that this is a real story. So in a Discord that Ionios and I are in, we talk about philosophy every so often, but like we talk about it pretty in depth whenever we do get around to it. And the administrator of this Discord server specifically made a debate channel just so that we wouldn't clutter up the general chat with how much we were talking about whatever we were talking about. So
Absolutely glorious.
yes. So this is just what we do. This is part of the Ionios and Pete experience is constant
no worries.
tangents.
I mean, like, if we're talking about just constant tangents, my favorite line to describe the entirety of 40k lore in one sentence is, magic space frogs didn't give a planet chemotherapy, and now everyone has to deal with the outline.
It's funny that
Yeah.
I vaguely know what you're talking about. The space frogs are the guys who made the orcs, weren't they? Or the
old
Quarks.
ones, yeah.
Yeah. Were they called Quarks?
They were effectively the original gods of
Mm.
Real
of
space.
the setting.
Yeah.
They were the original gods of real space.
Yeah.
Can't you? I think you can play as one of them, or one who looks like one of them in Total Warhammer.
That's that's fantasy more than anything.
Yeah.
The
Well,
old
he
ones,
looks like
they-
he's got like the lip piercing like a lot of the other ones do. I'd have to pull up a picture of them or
Oh yeah.
but
Well, the general idea of the timeline is, I guess, millions of years before humanity was even a thing. There was an alien race known as the Necrons. Not the Necrons. Actually, is it? It was the
or,
They weren't known as the Necrons at the time. I can't recall
Correct.
what they were known as.
Regardless, they lived short, horrible, irradiated lives, where they got in contact with the old ones. They were the masters of everyone. There's like, hey, please help us. And then to quote probably the best explainer of lore, Bricky, the old ones responded with a lull and a lamau. They just didn't care for them at all, and in doing so and rejecting them, they went to the Catan, where were the gods of real space. They eat stars, but they realized, oh shit, eating souls, far better, far more powerful. And so the leader of the Necrons, the Silent King Zarek, basically had an order to his entire people of like, hey, I have the ability to make us immortal with help from the Catan. Go into these, like, march into these furnaces. And the entire population of this entire world went into the furnaces and became living metal Terminator fuckers. And after that,
Deceiver.
yep. Well, he wasn't known that Zarek didn't know he was called the Deceiver at the time.
No, that was a title given after the fact, but he freaking deserved the title.
He did. But after that, the Catan utterly controlling the Necrons destroy the old ones down to the last. There's a quote-unquote theory that oh yeah, that motherfucker.
yeah. I think it's pretty much been confirmed he's not one of the old ones, but like it's very interesting that they put that little piece of that one aspect about the old ones that seems to be kind of commonly associated with them. Anyways,
Regardless, after the destruction of the old ones in this great war, the Eldar, space elves, and the Quarks, the orcs, were made. They put the Necrons back into tomb worlds where they are slumbering and they're just waking up recently with everything. And then after that, well, the long and short of it is that the elves made a galactic empire, then murder fucked a chaos god into existence.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
I heard about that. When I first heard about that, I was thought, surely is that a
No.
metaphor for something? No, that's actually what happened.
They had debauchery and hedonism on a galactic scale. They birthed a god from it.
Jesus Christ.
Not only did they birth the chaos god from it, but they got their own actual gods eaten by the chaos gods, with the exception of like what's her name? Ista?
Isha.
Isha? Yeah.
Not that
poor-
Isha.
poor
different
Isha.
She poor
in a jar.
Isha.
She's in a jar.
She became the quote unquote wife, unwilling wife of
Nurgle.
Nurgle.
Every
Oh.
time,
Oh,
every time
no.
that Nurgle, Chaos God of Pestilence, every time he invents something new, he forces it on her.
That is the
That's
last.
it.
That is the last person of all the people that like you could be locked in a jar belonging to. I feel like that's at the
The
bottom.
worst, the worst part about it, Isha's the Eldar life god.
Oh Jesus Christ! That's oh, okay. That's fucked in several different ways. Also, did you say
Oh,
that the
don't worry.
Eldar were made, or did I mishear you?
Yeah, they were made.
Okay. Oh, I think that's the first time. I mean, granted, I don't know a whole lot about like Eldar lore. So what?
Well, you have to understand, the old ones were effective gods of imagine, like they could anything that they could imagine, they could think. They were like immeasurably powerful beings that could just create life. They seeded life on different planets on whims.
You know Star Trek, right? They're basically the Q.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could snap their fingers and annihilate reality. But you know, when you are fighting effectively gods on the same level as you in the form of the Catan, it's kind of
different
kind of makes it a big deal.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I mean, it makes sense because like when you make a faction like the Krorks, who were basically just what was I forget like the analogy. I know that there is like a D&D species that is kind of analogous with their whole reality warping, but I forget what they're little fish people from D&D, but I forget what they're called. But like the idea that you can just create
yeah.
an entire
I said I couldn't tell you.
Oh yeah, I keep thinking of Yanti, but I think the Yanti are like the snake people. But like so to my understanding, the Krorks now, who are now the Orcs, are beings who could literally just manifest things by believing in it hard enough. Which is kind of how like the Orcs create their machines, is that they will literally just throw pieces of metal together and even
Toa.
Qtoa, yeah.
Yeah.
It's collective belief. Like an individual, the thing with the Quarks and the Eldar are all really psychically attuned. They're all psychers. They can use their psychic abilities very well. They don't these days, because anytime that they use their psychic abilities, Slaanesh is just like, okay, I'm going to start sucking up your soul now. So they usually don't do that. But for the orcs, they have a collective control of their power. So basically, if one orc believes something, it's not going to do too much.
Yeah.
If 1,000,000 orcs believe something, then it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
the
it's,
orcs have effectively a subconscious hive mind.
Yeah.
But it's a testament to like their.
It's just local. Say it again.
Yeah, but it's a testament to the how powerful their creators were. The fact that like they could just make
sure.
a species like
yeah.
that is already pretty crazy in and of itself. And
Uh,
the fact,
Well, and that's not even the craziest bit about it, because orcs do not need to reproduce.
Yeah,
Orcs
There's
are
spores.
Yeah,
they're
they're mushroom
mushrooms. So one orc existing means that you will eventually have an army of orcs, which is one of the reasons why, like, the Imperium effectively just burns planets whenever there's an orc on it. It's because they have no other freaking choice.
I guess that was also Joel's fault.
Helldivers.
Yeah. Yeah, I was making a reference to the video that was saying that like everything after the first The Last of Us game is Joel's fault.
Oh, the one.
Yeah, that one. I just thought of it because mushroom monsters, I figured. But yeah, like in the orcs
Oh,
are
that'd be a terrifying idea of orcs that like subsume and take over people.
yeah. Oh god, like you have orc zombies. God, we have enough like terrible things in Warhammer universe. We don't need to take one of the factions and also turn them into zombies.
Yeah, we already have that with the flayed ones.
That's true. That's true. Plus, it would just. I feel like that would just embolden Nurgle, if anything. That would be right
Not
up.
really, actually.
How do you really? I mean, isn't his whole thing
A
like
zombie thing?
Well, yeah, like isn't his whole thing like corpses and just general grossness?
No. Oh no,
No.
it's rot, it's decay. Having a
Yeah.
zombie, that would actually go against everything that he stands for. It's something that never would
undead.
rot. Yeah, it's something that would never rot, never would
Yeah.
move on.
Okay.
Nurgle might be
Nurgle's domain is change, and something that can never change, like a zombie, is kind of self-defeating.
Well, I guess it also depends on like what kind of zombie that we're talking
Well,
about. Because like if we're talking
that is
about
true.
like necromorphs, they sure as hell change a lot.
They'd be more Slaneshi or
How do you
Zinchko.
think?
Yeah, I was gonna say I have to addendum that technically all of the Chaos Gods are change focused.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
just different regions of change.
All right. You guys are the
Yeah.
experts here.
Well, it's
Well, no, I mean,
there-
think about it. Slanesh is change in the form of what do you call it? Perfection.
Mm.
The pursuit of perfection. Friggin' Nurgle is change in the form of decay. Tzeentch is change in the form of like politics and thought and life, or not life, but
Like knowing,
knowledge.
yeah, knowing the unknown or something like that, or am I kind of?
Yeah.
He's the personification of unreality, the fear of the unknown, the wanting to know secret knowledge, the trickery of mankind, the lies of everything.
Gotcha.
Like,
And that is an important distinction to make, that he does not know anything. He just is the personification of wanting to know.
Mm-hmm.
he both knows and doesn't know everything. His entire thing, he doesn't want facts. He only wants opinions.
Yeah, I don't know about the, and this is a bit of a debate in the community about whether or not he actually knows everything. Because the argument is effectively that everything that he will tell you is as much a lie as it is truth, because he has no idea. He just makes plans to make plans. There's no intention behind the plans. He just makes plans.
Mm.
The guy threw his most powerful and most loyal demon, the Lord of Change, the Oracle Kairos, into a warp storm just to see what it would do.
That sounds crazy in the most literal definition of the word.
Honestly, if you had to be part of the Chaos faction and you had to like choose one of the four and not be like Chaos Undivided or anything like that, you're best off with Nurgle and Khorne.
Gotcha.
Grandpa Nurgle, he does care
Papa.
about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Papa Nurgle, Grandpa, Papa, whatever. He does care about his pieces in the Great Game, and Khorne is like, I mean, you know what you're here for. I know what I'm here for. I'm not gonna tell you anything different.
Kill shit, chew bubblegum. Wait, how much bubblegum do we have left? Guys,
A lot of bubblegum,
go
actually.
check the pantry, please. Oh, we're
There's
out?
a lot of bubblegum.
Okay, I mean,
It's just all blood flavored.
What was it? Corn for the cornflakes, milk for the milk.
That's great.
No. It's skulls for the skull throne, blood for the blood god, milk for the cornflakes.
Thank you.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
So, okay, so the Eldar created Slanesh. The other three, though, those were just around like the whole time, or do we know if there was an origin to like any of those three?
The fantasy origin for because the difference between the like 40k origin point and the
that was
Warhammer fantasy origin point are two different things. We assume we don't know an exact point. We only have an exact point for Slanesh as the youngest of the Chaos Gods. They were more than likely there in some form or another. Oh, yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we will get there. they were the best way to say it is they're probably there in some form or another. But when the Necrons and the Old Ones and the Catan went to war, it was literally called the War in Heaven.
Mm.
It's a galactic war that probably fed all three of the Chaos Gods to truly manifest.
Oh, there's definitely no probably there. That's almost
Oh yeah,
indefinite. Yeah.
they fully manifested at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. So, cause like the Chaos Gods are like they seem to be like a one commonality between both fantasy and 40k, but they also at the same time don't seem to be the same. They seem to be the same gods, but they don't seem to be the same gods. Just by virtue, like, and I think Slanesh was kind of the first one that made me realize that, because wait a minute, if she was created by the Eldar, then how does she exist in the fantasy version? But I
Like,
just assume that the two of them are distinct in that regard anyways.
Like there was a fan theory once upon a time for fantasy that Nurgle was created by the Black Plague.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, so to be fair, I can't give you a source for this because I can't recall it. But I do remember reading somewhere that there was the idea that the warp was not was there was at one point the warp was calm. Like there was no entities at all in the warp.
Huh.
But with the
War in Heaven.
well, not just with the war in heaven, but with the reality of a thinking species, the evolution of a thinking species, you inevitably have, because the warp is a psychic dimension, effectively, a soul dimension.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have the dregs of thought that come out of people's heads, it's got to collect somewhere. It collects in the warp. So the more thinking conscious species exist, the more churned up the warp gets.
And the big thing that to add on to this is that it's not just negative thoughts, positive thoughts as well. The issue is that there's so much galactic war, and like we unconsciously think a bit more negative thoughts. At least that's the theory. That's why the negative sides of the Chaos Gods are shown. Because like the easiest one is probably Khorne. Khorne is war, slaughter, like butchering of people.
Mm.
He's also survival of the fittest, honor, strength, martial combat, like the ability to stand up to injustice. Zinch in particular
Rebellion.
is, yeah. Zinch is like rebellion, thinking through schemes, making things better, change in a positive direction as well as a negative.
Mm.
Slanesh, you still have to feel those feelings to begin with. There's still positive things about like feeling an emotion.
Love, the desire for improvement.
Yeah,
those are part of Slanesh's domains.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, and personally, I think for Slanesh, the best descriptor for their domain is excess.
Yeah.
Mm.
Excess of anything,
Yeah.
desire, war, violence, friends, whatever. It's still excess.
Yeah, multiple things, like a thing can feed multiple Chaos Gods at once.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what's so interesting.
It's why they...
Go ahead.
Oh.
No.
I was going to say, it's why it's fully part of the great game, because none of the Chaos Gods want to win, because then the game ends. So they effectively just sabotage each other or themselves just to keep the game going.
Mm. Yeah.
One will take a stab at certain things. A particular person getting off his ass and swinging his sword in a particular direction, causing a lot of issues, is a big thing. But we'll get to the shit that Khorne can do later.
Mm.
They could have just as easily corrupted all 21 of the Emperor's
Sons.
kids.
Yeah.
But they only corrupted 10 of them.
Well, my favorite part is that not the
We
Iron
don't talk
Hands.
about Alfarius.
I'm not talking about Alfarius. It's specifically Rogel Dorn.
I
He
love.
was sent into a dimension where Korn was corrupting him over and over and over, but he didn't break, so Korn just got bored and left.
Yeah.
Dorn just said no, just over and
No,
over again.
no, he was no. In the way that it's described in lore is that Korn thought he would be good because he has his moments of rage and everything. He can bring that out, but he
No.
realized, oh, this brick is so fucking boring that I don't want
Help me, magic pain glove.
The glove has spoken.
The glove. God, anyone who doesn't get that reference, please go watch Text to Speech Device. He's Rogel Dorn he became instantly my favorite character. The moment
Such a
he
dimwit.
is so fucking awesome.
I am fortifying this position.
He was making waffles. He made like little waffle castles. He tells them, he, like makes them actual little waffle fortresses. And then there's just one kid who really wants to eat. He's like taking a pickaxe to it. Then he gets a drill because he made it too good. God, I love that show.
Oh, it's great stuff.
It's
Dead Dornable.
So I guess on the top, since we were talking about the chaos gods themselves, I guess maybe also talk about some of the chaos factions, because despite there being chaos, there seem to be some factions that are specifically described as being chaos but aren't, aligned, or maybe not clearly aligned with any one specific chaos god, or maybe I'm just kind of misunderstanding which factions are chaos or not. I think the first one that comes to mind are the Night Lords, or maybe, correct me if they're not a chaos faction, they're just
They are.
okay. So are they aligned with like any specific chaos god, or is it just kind of like whichever, or because there's
They're considered chaos undivided. Like on the tabletop, you could have a particular marine of like Night Lord Chaos marked Slanesh.
Yeah.
That like the big thing with it is that there's 4 traitor legions that are specific legions for those gods, and the other traitor legions are considered chaos undivided overall.
okay, interesting.
They can worship one particular god more than the other. The idea behind them is that the chaos gods, all 4 of them, they favor them equally in one form or another.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, the big trouble, and to be fair, the big trouble with trying to really get into the nitty gritty on some of those legions and stuff is there's so much that's even just gone to the cutting room floor with
Yeah.
humanity's capabilities. Like blanks they exist, but they're not really a big focus anymore. The squats, which are effectively human dwarves, they're an
They
entire.
just came back. They just came
Did
back.
they? Did they?
Yeah,
Okay.
they did. Yeah, in the most recent one, they were originally wiped out by the Tyranids, but the squats were just one part. They're called the Legions of Votan. They live in the Galactic Core.
Fair
They're
enough.
space dwarves.
Space
Yeah.
dwarves.
They're
Interesting.
space
Well, but I
dwarves.
mean, like they're human.
They are.
They're offshoot human, just like the what are they called? The troll-like humans, the ones that can't think very well, but oh shoot. Do you know what I'm talking about? I know nothing.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Like, if you've ever played Darktide, the big ogre-looking dude in the game for that.
Oh, that guy.
Ogren. I think they're called Ogrins,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, Ogren.
Mhm.
Yes, with a Y.
Yeah, of course. They're weird.
Homo sapiens gigantus.
Because they are so different from humanity, and the fact that they worship an AI, which is like horribly banned by the Imperium. They're just like, yeah, we'll pretend to be literal will be a completely different species in order to avoid humanity from effectively claiming ownership over everything. Because well, the space dwarves are probably the biggest set of space capitalists ever.
Mm.
I mean that entirely.
I get that. You want to go into
Every
since you mentioned the whole. I think I'm actually completely unfamiliar with the reasons behind the Imperium's banning of AI, and I've heard that there was like a really big event that happened with that. So
Because they were abominable intelligences.
they were, yes.
Because that's what
Well-
AI stands for.
oh, okay.
No, so the reason for the banning of AI, if you don't mind me,
Please.
yeah, is effectively that there was a war between humanity, and this is what caused the caused humanity to be fractured. Is they had a war against the Men of Iron, which were their own AI servitors, effectively. That's also why the Adeptus Mechanicus, all of their tech uses such morbid seeming systems,
Mm.
like servo skulls. Servo skulls use human
Well,
brains
a lot of their
effectively to function.
technology uses like human brains of some kind. To my understanding,
All of
there are some. I want to say when I was reading Hell's Reach, there was a scene where there was a moment where they were announcing to Hell's Reach, "Oh yeah, we're about to be sieged," and like what they did was they asked a guy who was like plugged into a computer to read
Yep.
out the announcement for them instead of like doing it himself.
Yeah. There is no system in the entirety of the Imperium that is technologically
Automated.
what's the term?
Me-
Yeah, automated. Um all of it is controlled by a human, either alive or dead.
Mm.
Uh because yeah, they during the war with the Men of Iron, they basically became uh, so disconnected from the idea of running their technology with a computer that they just went, fine, we'll do it all manual, or as manual as we can get it, because they were afraid that the Men of Iron would take over through it.
Mhm.
Because that was a tactic during the war, was if it was capable of being run by an automated system, it was stolen by the automated system.
Gotcha. Which I mean,
It's a
is also just metal as fuck. There is so much about
Yeah.
like the Warhammer universe that is so unique and distinct from almost like forget like just not even just any other fantasy or sci-fi universe, almost just any universe in general. Because I think what's also interesting about it
Indeed, Victor.
is that it
oh yeah.
it's a lot more than just, oh, we'll take like fantasy races and factions and we'll put them in space. It's actually it does a lot more than that, and the almost morbid nature of it even then, like it goes, it's a lot more unique than just taking a fantasy setting, putting it in space, and also we're going to make it grimdark.
Well, they had a good start when they effectively just copy pasted the Dune lore for 90% of their starting bits. No, I'm not even
So that's
joking.
real.
Like,
I thought that was a
no,
myth.
oh, well, you have to understand here. I'm just gonna throw this out there. Like an AI, like thou shalt not create a machine in the form of a man. Banning of AI, using everything manually. Someone called the God Emperor and the Emperor of mankind is sitting on the golden lion throne.
Yeah.
Hmm.
one of those just bombastic side eye, just looking over at Warhammer. Like Dune is just looking over at Warhammer. Like, you doing good? It's its own thing, by far now. But
Yeah. Well,
there's a lot of there's
And I
a
mean,
lot of copy paste.
you can easily also see parallels there with just their space travel, right?
Yep.
The navigators, um, they are, first of all, they are their own abhuman species,
Mhm.
but they are required to navigate through space at all, right? They are required for their giant spaceships. You look at Dune. How does the Dune uh, universe get from one location to another? Pete?
I've actually not
Oh.
read Dune. Like my only
Oh,
experience with
okay.
it are like the
They
movies. So
they
I'm sorry.
use
I'm
they use a
uninitiated.
group of people basically coked out on spice called navigators to navigate through space without hitting anything.
And they're
Interesting.
in some interpretations they quite literally, and I quote, like go in between spaces to like teleport places and everything else. Like their version of FTL is literally getting so coked they can see slipstreams of energy throughout the universe. It's weird.
That is weird.
Dune,
Yeah,
Dune's
It sounds
weird.
awesome,
projection.
but
Dune's weird. Warhammer's weird, but we're talking about Warhammer here, so.
yeah. No, like just yeah, it's just always something that kind of like stood out to me, and especially like the uniqueness in the designs as well. I guess if want to go back to like talking about the miniatures almost because there's a lot too just about the designs that stick out a lot and feel very distinct even among themselves. I remembered um when going into a game shop and I saw a bunch of Tau miniatures and I not really even paying attention to like what brand it was from. I was just looking at them being like, "Oh, cool robots," and not even really realizing that it was from the same franchise as the Space Marines were from as well. Just because like the distinct uniqueness of like each of the different. And I guess like to an extent that's kind of what should be expected when you make a massive universe is that you want all your factions to look very distinct and feel very different from one another. You don't want them to just be like slightly different recolors of each other. And the the way that Warhammer kind of like achieves that too from a visual perspective is also it's impressive to a degree because it takes things almost to like a ludicrous kind of position but still manages to keep them. I think so going back to my very first experience with Warhammer was when I saw the first Space Marine video game I think came out, and I saw it on when I was like in a Walmart once. And the first thing I thought to myself was, "Oh, is this supposed to be like an adult parody of like Buzz Lightyear or something like?" Because I saw it, it was like Space Marines, and I immediately thought of like that, like all those different jokes that they make in Team 4-Star DBZ Abridged, where they will take something benign and they'll put space at the end of it. So it's like Marines but in space. It's like Spaceys. It's good food in space Australia.
Go Space Broncos.
Yeah, go Space Broncos. And so, like, it sounded both ridiculous and at the same time looking at like the cover, if I can like pull it up, seeing this guy in this bulky ass, metal armor with, adorned with skulls and wings and shit, who has a chainsaw sword flying through the air at these hordes of orcs. Like, it seemed both so silly and at the same time so cool at the same time. And I didn't know anything about it at the time. If I can pull up a picture of it real quick, I guess if one of you guys wants to continue that thought while I'm doing that.
I mean, they're intended as that cross between fantasy and sci-fi. Get you go, this is metal, but also this is freaking dark as hell.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what's so cool about like the aesthetic of it and just like how it's written in general is that it finds a very good balance between those two. Yeah, there it is. Um, that you can have these Because like you guys have seen the images of Space Marines without their armor and how like their chests are massive in order to like meet the proportions that their
Oh, yeah.
regular designs
Yeah.
kind of have. And like it seems so silly, but at the same time you don't really think about that too much because you're thinking too much about fucking Primus kicking the shit out of his Reclusiarch because he's being a defeatist and like they're gonna do their final stand against the Orc horde and shit like that, and you're just too hyped up on the pure narrative testosterone that's being injected into your eyeballs at that moment to care about that. That book was awesome, by the way.
The thing is, though, is that it strikes a really nice balance between this is a lot of, adrenaline pumping, action, fun, and narratively, there are no good guys here.
No.
Every single individual in this world is a bad guy.
Yeah.
Nobody is worth your sympathy.
Yeah. To some extent
Everyone
or
is-
another, yeah, it's
Everyone is an asshole, so pick the war crimes that you vibe with.
exactly. And
Because I mean, let's be honest, the Imperium is effectively a cross between the Roman Legion and
The bloodiest regime imaginable.
that
yeah.
you quoted, yeah, I
the
believe that's a
Roman
quote from-
Legion jammed into the friggin' the Inquisition plus Nazis.
Pretty much.
Like, they are that bad.
Okay, Victor, yes, there are still good people here and there, but by and large, each faction is a different shade of evil. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you can say that despite everything that the Imperium was doing, Sanguinius was a good guy. It's a dead guy now, but what have you.
Yeah. I feel like
That's what happens to good people in this world, this universe, is they all die.
I was gonna say,
'Cause- Yeah, there's no
were
roof.
there were good people. They died already.
yeah, like the most you got now are salamanders.
to an extent.
Yeah, to an extent.
I mean, I think the best examples are probably, or of humanity maybe, are probably the Ultramarines, and even they have some friggin' issues.
yeah.
They have a lot of issues.
I mean, considering that a
That's a
whole
good
bunch
question.
of them also, just became. I mean, granted, I wouldn't exactly describe the Traitor Legions as Space Marines anymore, but the fact that like there were a whole bunch of them that had that kind of thought, it doesn't seem like impossible. The fact that it's not impossible for them to think about that kind of betrayal, I think, just goes to show the iron. Yeah, no, what I'm saying is I agree with you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's the current Imperium is just religious zealots on crack and doing their best and being absolutely fucking insane in order to just survive, really, because let's be frank, the only reason that the Imperium is still a faction in Warhammer is because GW wants them in plot armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By all rights,
I
they
mean-
should have been destroyed a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like in
Oh, yeah.
universe.
It's funny, I think the most moral species of all of them in the Warhammer universe is probably the Tau.
I was about to say, yeah.
And they're an Orwellian Big Brother nightmare crossed with the India's caste system society, which is like a really like not great thing, because like India's own caste system has a group of people that they refer to as like the unmentionables.
Oh god.
Like people that they just don't acknowledge in public. They are that shunned. The the tower effectively that plus Big Brother state.
And I guess, yeah, no, and it's. I feel like, if anything, that makes it that much more interesting to kind of choose a faction. Because I feel like if you're gonna play a game, granted, like even if you have like a game where there is very clearly and obviously a good guy and a bad guy, I feel like more people would probably gravitate more towards like the people that the story of that game are about. When you have a bunch of people, granted, I feel like people are still gonna gravitate towards Space Marines just because of how heavily pushed they are. Like I'm not aware of how many stories
they're
about
human.
the yeah, that too. And
Sort of.
sort
I was
of.
gonna say, to an extent.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, like I don't. Can I get more stories about Tyranids, please? I want more stories. No.
Well, that's the issue with the Tyranids, is that they're one giant hive mind. You can't have a Tyranid character because they're just basically one ant being controlled by a overarching like hive mind ant queen, which is the equivalent of like a Cthulian god. You can't have a character. You can only have their
Like,
victims.
just, well,
like the
I was gonna say like more lore and background about it because like I'm not sure if we've ever because so I heard a theory kind of going around that the Tyranids were potentially created by or genetically engineered by an exiled Necron who like left the galaxy, but and I don't know how true that theory is exactly. I mean, like stories kind of like that, more so just ones that kind of because the Tyranids just as this new species that just they're not. I think what kind of draws me to them specifically is the fact that they are just this evolutionary, this naturally evolutionarily, superior or combat superior kind of species that just kind of gets by through their own evolution alone. They weren't like biologically engineered by like a big god race that we know of. They weren't one of these factions from like the galaxy. They just kind of showed up one day, and if like anything that I've heard about it is to be taken with any degree of truth, they will eventually just kind of consume everything.
You go first, my man.
I was just say, if memory serves, they've actually conquered several other galaxies.
Yeah,
they actually have like this galaxy friggin' surrounded.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
no.
The implication is that the entire Milky Way is surrounded by different Tyranid fleets, and even like there's more theories saying that the current Tyranid force that's attacking, that's the scout variant, because it's a GW, for better or worse. For a lot of their factions, they always leave ins in order to make more powerful in-lore reasons of why. Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I love that so much. But in-lore reasons for why more powerful units on the tabletop are made, because like the Hive Tyrant in for Tyranids, like this monstrous thing that slaughters through like Space Marine like butter and like is really powerful and strong, what have you. That's the Tyranid equivalent of a Space Marine.
Mm-hmm.
There's very likely a Tyranid equivalent of a Primarch.
Yeah.
That we haven't seen yet.
Same
with it's like orcs is easiest because of like they can just say an old orc. He's the biggest and the strongest, and he's really punchy.
Yeah, I get that.
With a very cool looking squigoth for hair.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
but I would like
to.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. You go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just gonna add that the other thing is, you think about it, the Nids actually might be the best thing for the galaxy. Because they, being a hive mind, right, and by the function of the warp, they're effectively not affected by it. So if they eat everybody and everything in the galaxy, the warp's going to go back to normal.
Yeah, and then eventually, if the Tyranids just kind of if the Tyranids consume enough, they're gonna run out of stuff to eat. Granted, I don't know if they can starve, if that's a thing.
They can. It's a tactic that they use. The Imperium will in fact just exterminatus, blow up planets in the way of a Tyranid invasion to literally starve them out. So by the time that they do reach a particularly strong command center, they have a fighting chance. It's how several of them have actually won
So in
Tyranid awards.
maybe another 40,000 years after the Tyranids have consumed everything and have completely starved their whole species off, then it just
Well,
kind of resets the universe.
the real thing about it is that they take like the air, they take the water, they take like the bio life of everything.
Yeah.
But as much as they take, it's very much surface level.
Mm.
They don't take absolutely everything down to the last microbe. So
Yeah,
they're
like they can't consume
life will.
machines or certain metals, because it's my understanding
Yeah,
that
that's why.
they don't do good against Necrons.
No, the Necrons hard counter them
Mm.
because of how their guns work. But at the same time, though, when looking at it just flatly, uh, say the Nids win, they wipe everything out, they kill everything. Life will still quote unquote find a way after the
Yeah.
Tyranids leave. Maybe the Nids will return to like kill them, but overall though, the Nids. I use them as Nids because that's what my coworkers call them. They're also huge Terminid fans.
Yeah. No.
Is that there will still be life at the end of the day, which is why the two biggest factions that are going to be thrown at the Nids right now in the lore is Chaos and the Necrons, because Chaos magic and everything is really effective against the Nids.
Mm. Yeah. That's also just kind of like why I find them so interesting, is that they are in this universe full of like chaos gods, death, destruction, fucking like genetically engineered war machines, horrible abominations created by past gods and stuff. You just have these xenomorphs that are just completely overrunning everything. It's kind of a similar reason why I'm kind of drawn to them in sort of the same way that I'm drawn to the Eldrazi from Magic the Gathering.
Oh.
Because I don't know if you're familiar with Magic the Gathering lore, or even just the Eldrazi in general, but like
I've heard of them, but
yeah, so like the Eldrazi, they're basically the elder gods of the Magic universe, sort of. I think it's kind of being retconned. I'm not sure if they're actually what we thought they were anymore. I've heard the most recent expansion is kind of fucking up their lore.
neat.
Yeah, very fun to be a Magic fan right now.
It's always fun to be a Warhammer fan. They fuck over your lore every other edition.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the whole thing about like the Eldrazi is basically their whole thing is kind of like I say that it's kind of like the Tyranids, but like the Tyranids do what they do on like a much larger scale. Their whole thing is they basically consume like all the other colors of mana. So you have like the 5 different colors of magic, and they are a colorless faction basically. And so they basically consume any kind of color mana and they convert it into colorless. They consume entire lands and turn them into just wastelands. And it was theorized for a long time that their whole thing is that they are a cosmic cleanup crew meant to come to worlds that they deem as dead or dying, basically consume all the life out of it, not just like the biomass, but literally all the magical life of any kind in it, and that until it's basically nothing, and then leave the seeds for like something new to grow from it, and then they just do that over and over again. Granted, that's the major difference between them and the Tyranids. And again, the Tyranids just do what they do on a much larger scale, or at least the consuming part. And I find it kind of interesting, these very hive-mindish kind of creatures, because there's only 3 Eldrazi, and all of their swarm are basically hive minds with these other 3, Kozalik, Ulamog, and Emrakul. And
Those are names.
yeah, those are names that and yeah, it's I just like the idea of this very cosmic horror-y kind of swarm kind of creatures that just consume everything and destroy everything. It's just very I'm very attracted to that in like fantasy sci-fi-ish kind of games, if that's like a playable faction. and also kind of why...
Lovecraftian horror is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also part of the reason why, like, it makes them that much more mysterious, too, and part of the reason why I don't think we will ever get a story about the Tyranid origin, or maybe, like, stories about them from, like,
Glad to
another
hear that,
galaxy. Huh?
Yeah, man. Oh, no, he's Bio Gundam. He's busy in a tabletop RPG, but he'll be watching this later.
Yeah, welcome, Bio.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I mean, is like when I say a Tyranid story, because like I like the Eldrazi, but I don't see how you could make a story about the Eldrazi as like a character. I guess maybe you could talk about like the thought process behind one of them, but really when I say that I would like to see a story about Tyranids in the same way that I like stories about the Eldrazi from Magic, is just kind of like their escapades before they kind of showed up. Because
The
closest you can get
go
is
ahead.
probably Gene Stealer cults.
yeah, you want to talk a little bit about them?
The trouble,
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
real fast. The trouble with the idea of trying to write a story, especially from the point of view of something like that,
Yeah, no.
is they're so inherently inhuman that you can't write something that thinks in a human fashion and make it compelling as a story.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
no. The most you can do
Yeah.
is just kind of like talk about how it came to be. But at the same time, I
Does
can also
a
understand
thing.
that the mystery itself also kind of drives what is so interesting and fascinating about it.
Yeah. But Gene Stealers, go for it.
Yeah. And
Well, Gene Stealer cults are basically the waiters for the Tyranids, is the best way to describe it. They don't immediately send the sometimes they don't immediately send a full like hive fleet down to destroy something. They set up Gene Stealer cults, which are basically these morphed and fucked versions of humanity that are like placed into the like very alien-esque in like face huggers and such, like taking someone over and like basically putting them into a population where they can reproduce, they can spread out throughout the population, grow more and more and more people, and then as the hive mind comes in, they basically get a like secret agent activation phrase to basically start a revolution on the planet. The sites that you see with the Gene Stealer cults are very Bolshevikian, very rise up for the people of these legitimately horrible worlds. Like they are flatly just bad places to live. So like rising up and saying like we will defeat these people and everything else, and basically set the stage for effectively just worshiping the Tyranids as gods until, well, the Tyranids come and just eat everything. Because why bother? It's literally just making a planet ready to be eaten on a silver platter.
I get a lot of Marker from Dead Space vibes.
Pretty much, yeah. It's they're a sort of human-esque faction of the Tyranids. They've got these like Tyranid like spikes coming out of them. They look fucked up, like coked out drug dealers with guns and everything.
If you you look at I lost my train of thought. Never mind. Go for it.
No worries. It's every faction sort of has like a sub army grunt faction that you can sort of play as. For humans, it's the
Guard?
Astra Militarum.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Astra Militarum, the Imperial Guard, because 99.9% of all battles in for humanity in 40K are fought by the Imperial Guard.
Oh yeah.
With shovels.
Oh yeah. I
you
can't remember.
Because you have to understand, like the average deployment of Imperial Guard Legion, like an average deployment is 3 million people.
Yeah. Well,
That's considered small.
and on that subject, right? The average lifespan of a soldier on the field for them is about 12 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Something like that in the terms of like, if you are not a Space Marine or some level of improved, you're probably going to be dead on your first deployment. On the first day.
Well, because the Imperial Guard they have modern day flak armor, like legit, just Kevlar.
Mm.
Yeah. Probably not even with plates in it.
And what they wield the las gun, which is this like fully automatic laser thing that can like blow off arms, punch holes in like tanks, and blow holes in concrete. It is
Which does
joking.
nothing.
It's jokingly referred to as the flashlight.
Oh god. Yeah. No, and like considering the universe in general, it makes a lot of sense that if you're not a super badass like the Space Marines, you're not going to live for very long.
Yeah.
Hey, remember when they sent 6 guardsmen in a dropship to Cadia? I jokingly say that when I don't know a whole lot about the fall of Cadia, but to my understanding, it wasn't very good.
It was so Cadia in general, just to give the overview, every single planet in the Imperium gives a tithe to the Imperial Guard to basically stay alive and give more bodies for the war effort.
Mm.
Cadia was a planet that was closest to the Eye of Terror, this literal portal into the warp and real space that was created when Slaanesh was born. So it was basically the first line of defense for Imperial territory and everything. And on Cadia, like they were the most regimented soldier type culture ever. They gave more like people to the tithe than anyone else in the Imperium, basically, to the point where like the average look of an Imperial guard that you can see with like the green helmets, the green flak armor, and everything else, that's the Cadian infantry uniform.
Mm.
And well, what happened is I believe it was some Black Crusade, some attack from some invasion from Chaos, where they hit Cadia like a fucking like
It was.
drum.
Well, I think the crazy thing too is how long it took for Cadia to, because to my understanding, it was specifically the 13th Black Crusade when it
Yeah.
fell. The
Yeah,
fact that
I remember it.
the fact that it took 12 others and they were still standing, I think is kind of impressive in Cadia's.
It was the Imperial version of Gibraltar.
Yeah.
Like that's where they like this is like this is where we stop them, this is where we fight, what have you. And it got so bad that I believe Abaddon literally threw a moon-sized like space station into the planet just to blow it the fuck up because he was done.
I did not know about that. So
Yeah, there's a reason why the reason why the statement is the planet broke before the guard did.
Mm. Yeah, so the Cadia is one that I've researched most recently, so I'm a little bit unfamiliar with it because I had recently watched the latest episode of Hammer and Bolter, which was titled the Return to Cadia, and I remembered looking up Cadia a little bit just to get a little bit of the idea of the background behind this place, because I also just really liked that episode in a vacuum. I like little horror sci-fi, bunch of people go into a haunted ass place in space and get killed off one by one. It just feels very classic trope. And then like when I actually read up, oh wow, a lot of shit happened here in Cadia. I'm kind of questioning why we only sent like 6 people in, or if they were supposed to meet like a bunch of other people and they just also died, I guess, as well, I think is the implication that happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there was a huge moment is that do you know who Saint Celestine is?
I do not.
She is the living, undying saint, the martyr and warrior of the emperor, where she is a very powerful, literal angelic figure with angel wings and everything. Fights with a sword, really powerful, really strong. When she dies, there's literally she gets sent to a place where there is a child atop of Hill of Bones, and every time, and she will climb that hill of bones in order to comfort the child. And when she comforts the child, she is reborn into a new body, the literal undying saint.
Oh wow.
Is she a demon of the emperor? Probably, but you'll get shot for saying. And to save her in one part, I believe I don't know if she was fighting Angron, the corn corrupted Primarch of the World Eaters, like one of deadliest people to fight in a straight up fight ever. She was losing said fight, so it was described as, in order to give her a chance to like retreat, there was just this literal tidal wave of Cadians rushing into Angron, knowing that they will be turned into mincemeat in an instant, but they just kept coming and sacrificing themselves to save Saint Celestine.
That's awesome.
That's the kind of fervor that Cadian fought with.
So you mentioned that there are rumors that she is a demon who worked for the Emperor.
No,
So
no.
Case?
That's meta. The meta is that she is technically a demon of the Emperor. In reality,
so this is
sorry.
getting into this is getting into the discussion / realization for a lot of folks that the amount of belief and fervor that humanity has pushed, and to the point that even their enemies have started to believe it in some ways, in the Emperor of Mankind, the Emperor of Mankind has become a chaos god.
Oh,
Okay.
the idea behind it is that the one that was actually pushed by the text-to-speech fandom and is kind of overall accepted, a chaos god of unbelief and order.
Yeah.
Huh. Did text-to-speech device specifically touch on that, or 'cause I'm wondering if there was like an episode where
they mentioned it in one where Magnus was having an argument with the Emperor of what they were going to do and what like the Emperor's plan, because Horus argues that the Emperor was inadvertently making a new chaos god with the destruction of religion and everything else, and that the Emperor was becoming its avatar possibly, but
Was it
because
also Magnus?
oh, it's Magnus. Yes, my apologies. Magnus.
Yeah, I
is
was
the
gonna
one
say
arguing. Yeah, look,
no,
I
it's good. It's good.
no, I had the image of Magnus in my head, and then I remember him having horns, and I was like, oh, Horus and everything. I just went off that. I was like, wait a second. Hold up. So my apologies, I misspoke, but he was arguing that all this stuff would inadvertently create a chaos god, which rules is written with how the warp works. Magnus is technically right in that sense. And with the fervor of everything with the 41st millennia, there's very likely a fact that the Emperor might in fact be the quote unquote burgeoning chaos god of unbelief and order.
Huh.
Because he's the anathema to the chaos gods.
I'm guessing
Right.
that I'm guessing that would have been something that happened to him after the Horus heresy. So
Afterwards,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
When the entire population of an entire faction believes that you're a literal god, that does feed you in some form or another, and it's weird to say, but psychically, the Emperor is technically more powerful now than he was when he was off the throne.
Well, I mean, think about it. When you have psychics that are regularly sacrificed to you and basically fed to you every day,
1,000 a day.
thousands of them.
Hmm.
1,000 a day for
Which
the
I mean,
Emperor's meal.
for an entire galaxy, is kind of a small number when you think about
10,000 years.
it.
Yeah.
You're gonna grow in psychic power just based off of that.
I figure. Yeah, I mean, in a universe where you can accidentally a god from enough murder and sex, that's gonna do something.
Yeah, like the Emperor has been able to do things now that he theoretically was able to do before with like enough time and prep. Like Rabute Gorilla Man came back. Rabute Gorilla Man, sorry. He came back.
No, his name is stupid. I can't. Nobody can figure out how you pronounce his stupid name.
Robert Gorilla Man, anyway. After he returned to the 41st millennium after his one-sided bitch slapping at the hands of a Fulgrim, holy shit. that was painful to read. But he came back, fought with I believe it was Magnus and Mortarion, and he flat died. Then the Emperor said, get the fuck up, and he did.
Warhammer lore.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like there's there's several things. Like even as dead as he is, Sanguinius still appears and fucking gives poor Dante more shit to do. My God, Dante needs to retire. He's done too much.
I feel
He's a several thousand-year-old space marine, and
Dante
he's done.
is.
Yeah, Dante. He's
Gotcha.
a Blood Angel space marine, and my boy has been through so much.
Oh god.
And the spirit of Sanguinius is just like, you must still keep fighting, and he's just like, let me die. Come on.
Was,
The modern day Malcador.
Yeah, basically.
Malcador the Sigilant, by the way, was or
Excuse
now
you.
Malcador the Hero. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Was effectively the Emperor's right-hand man until the Golden Throne was more or less completed.
Yeah, the idea behind his particular Malcador was probably actually flatly one of the most powerful human psychers ever, and he had been helping the Emperor. He was, as he said, right-hand man for like the entirety of the creation. Actually, fun fact, when because his only friend really, but when
technically husband, because I'm pretty sure he made the
they made the Primarchs together.
The Primarchs together. So
yeah, they did. And when they first made the Primarchs, and then the Chaos Gods came in and just warped them across the galaxy to the point where they had to find him, Malcador said, Malcador basically said, "All right, champ, we messed up the first one. Let's try this again." The man least suggested, "Let's try this again," which flatly would have ended better.
yeah.
Version of humanity. But when the Horus Heresy happened, Magnus did nothing wrong. He was told to do nothing. He did that wrong. He literally tried to give a psychic phone call to warn the Emperor to like that Horus was evil. He's going to avenge everything. But in doing this psychic phone call, it broke open the barriers that were like that the Emperor had set up to stop the demons from invading Terra in particular. He had this entire project called the Webway that he was making, which was this ability to do faster than light travel without needing to use the warp at all. The Eldar have a version.
Yeah, inspired by the Eldar's existing version.
Dorn was doing this? Dorn was
no, the Emperor was.
Oh,
the Emperor was the one making those.
Okay, that makes more
sense. He was making this, and he was like psychically creating this throughout. But when Magnus sent the call, it shattered everything and broke basically a big hole in the defenses where like demons were basically invading over and over and over. It's why during the entire siege of Terra, and frankly the Horus Heresy in general, you were wondering, hey, the Adeptus Custodes are like really powerful, just better space marines. What were they doing? 24-hour fighting and killing demons that were invading Terra, and to basically stop everything from being overrun, the Emperor was forced to sit on the Golden Throne. But during the waning hours of the Horus Heresy, Horus basically unlocked the shields on his ship to allow people to teleport on, and in a basic like, come at me, bro, if you think you're hard enough. And seeing this as the only chance to really end the war, the Emperor got off the Golden Throne, but in order to maintain it, Malcador had to sit on it. But Malcador was not as powerful as the Emperor, so he held it in place for as long as he could. But by the time that the Emperor...
Still had a stroke.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But by the time the Emperor came back, Malcador was quite literally dust and bones, basically. The last thing that he did was give his psychic energy to the Emperor in order to save his life so he could be entombed in the Golden Throne, which is where they got the idea of feeding psychers to him in the first place. But like being sat on this throne for a little bit of, for like not even a day, utterly killed Malcador, one of the most powerful psychers. And to just show how powerful he was, there was a bit before Horus turned where he was angry and he was about to say the names of the two lost Primarchs, and Malcador immediately shut him down, stopped him from speaking, and like psychically like choked him out.
That's crazy.
He did this. He did this to a Primarch without a thought.
There were I feel like, because the Horus Heresy is one of the most pretty much one of the most important events in the Warhammer universe. I'm kind of surprised that I've not heard about. Well, I mean, I guess with more Warhammer animation projects coming up, I'm almost kind of hoping that they eventually make one that just kind of covers the events of the Horus Heresy. Granted, like I'm sure there's a book out there that I can
Well,
read
you
about.
have to understand. Let me quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's over 60 books on the Horus Heresy.
Okay,
Yeah, I was just saying,
okay, that makes sense.
it'll be a tall ask because
Let me grab
especially
it
when
real
you
quick.
when you
I've got
add in the
Echoes.
fact that Games Workshop is like
Yeah.
as possessive as they are, the idea of doing any material, anything on existing lore, is rough.
Yeah, the Horus Heresy books, let's see here. There are 54 books on the Horus Heresy.
Jesus.
And then just on the Siege of Terra, literally the attack of chaos on the planet of Earth, basically, there are 12 books
Yeah, I was
on
gonna
just
say,
one battle.
I mentioned that there are over 400 books for all of Warhammer, and that's just the official stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're still adding and doing a bunch of other things because
Yeah.
right now, the biggest, most recent thing to come back for Warhammer lore is that one of the Primarchs, Lionel Johnson, is the most recent to return to the fold and help out with the Imperium.
Generic frickin' name.
I'm aware. Tywin Lannister looking head ass. Anyway, he's going to come back, and then there's rumors that another they have a bunch of different Primarchs to go through to return before they even finish with just the shit that is in the human factions. Because there's a whole civil war happening with the Necrons and everything between Imhotep the Stormlord and Zarek the Silent King.
Yeah.
All right, so
Though
yeah, go ahead.
I do. I was just gonna throw out. We've been talking about
Stuff.
the Emperor's existence as a god of order, and what was the other one you threw out? Order and unbelief. Interestingly enough, there is some waffling over whether or not he's also, in some tangential way, the Omnissiah as well for the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Yeah.
The struggle there is they were influenced by the Deceiver, weren't they? Inside of Mars?
Not the Deceiver. There's a shard of the Void Dragon in Mars.
Right.
I am
Yes.
uninitiated on some of the stuff that you guys are talking about. So you want to start
So
with
holy Mars, right? Where all of
Wait, sorry, let's stop and pray to our God, the 2008 Honda Civic. Hama.
no, the true gods are things you put bread in, but we're not
of
going to go
course.
there. Yeah.
oh the toaster, yeah.
Unironically, one of the leaders of Mars is obsessed with toasters.
So that was one thing that like I was fascinated by when watching text to speech device. Is again another one of those kinds of things where I was like, oh, this is a joke that they like made up or something like that. But like apparently there's actual
No.
people who want toasters in Warhammer
Yes.
canon. That's crazy.
No, they want them.
I mean, it's a slot you can stick things in, and it's pretty warm inside.
I mean, like it adds just it makes the aforementioned
Sorry.
story about the orc and the Mechanicus looking for an air fryer just that much more comical. It's just the idea.
I mean,
that this-
there's a book called that I recommend if you haven't to just sort of get an insight for Necrons and to have a weirdly funny story in the Warhammer universe called The Infinite and the Divine. It's a argument between two high-level Necron lords where I think it's Tajak the Infinite or something. He's a collector, and the things that he have in his vault are literal bullshit. The guy quite literally has a clone of a Primarch, literally in stasis, just for him to look at like a statue.
Is he the guy from that one episode of Hammer and Bolter that trapped those Chaos Space Marines in
Yes.
the time loop? Okay, yeah, he's cool.
I'm
Like-
sorry, hold on. Are you talking about Trazyn?
Trazyn.
Yeah, you said Tajak. I'm like,
Fuck my
you mean
life.
Trazyn the Infinite?
Look, man. Dyslexia and Warhammer names
all
are
good.
very hard,
Yeah.
but no, I get it
There's-
entirely. But
That's what he
It's
calls his
almost
alter
like
ego, I
there's
guess.
freaking stupid too many characters in this 400 book series of
Yeah, but
crap.
the argument that Trazen says to the person he's arguing with is like, I have a window. Do you have a window?
What?
Yes, this is the debate.
Just-
This is literally happening in a chapter-long debate. Do you have a window?
The
I'm better than you. I have a window.
the window to wait, like just like an actual glass window, or is this like a magic
Yes.
window to? Oh,
Yeah, no,
A window. It's a window.
just a window.
are
Just
windows also something that like don't exist in the Warhammer universe?
No,
Aren't
they
com-
exist.
Oh, okay.
They exist.
Well, no,
but,
not like a.
Necrons really don't have any need for them.
Okay.
Sometimes they exist in really hilariously stupid ways, because orcs
my
can
God,
slap a
yes.
window on the outside of their frickin' spaceships, open them up to get some air while they're traveling, and
Yep.
be perfectly fine.
Yes, by the way, this has happened. I think it's like a literal like Kalux assassin is like looking down their scope and sees this shit happening and honestly thinks they've been like injected with some sort of like hallucinogenic.
All right, now you've
No,
put
it's
like
just freaking orc.
now you've put like the image of what are the little pet things for squigs? Is that what they're called? The little red things that they like ride on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now I just have the
Squigs,
image of
squiggles.
like they're flying their ship through the warp or someplace, and like they roll down the window. A squig is just puts its head out the window in the middle of the warp, and its tongue is just flapping in the
Yeah.
whatever the space equivalent of wind would be.
Well, actually, the funniest thing for Orc, it's one of my personal things because Khorne's my favorite Chaos faction. I like the aesthetic the most overall. But there is a planet in the Warp it's where all the orcs go to, and it's basically just this eternal war of orcs, like fighting on this one planet for functionally eternity, and it's kept there because Khorne likes watching it. That's like his Sunday night football.
Honestly, makes sense. I feel that feels. I don't know why I never considered that. That would be the perfect place for like the orcs to want to live.
No, it's their paradise. It's their paradise.
Well, yeah, because their whole thing is just we want to fight, constantly and forever, right?
Yeah.
That was also.
What's life without a little bit of crumpin'?
I get a wog going, my man.
I guess while we're
oh.
talking about like just lore and stuff, and since we're on the topic of orcs, you guys want to talk about Yarick? Tell the audience about Yarick, his whole deal.
Before we go there real quick, I just want to
Yeah,
throw
right.
out there's also some thought in the online sphere around the idea that the actual reason humans have stuck around as long as they have is because orcs really like fighting humans.
Yeah.
And so their own belief in the combat capability of humans is one of the things that have kept humans around so long.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's just a theory,
Yeah.
or that's actually confirmed?
That's
theory.
I was just saying, as far as I'm aware, that's a theory. There's nothing book-wise that's 100% confirmed it, but that seems as like legitimate as anything else in the physics of this universe. So,
Yeah.
but you were gonna say Yarick.
Yeah.
I was
So
gonna say Sebastian Yardic, the heroes of Armageddon, the hero of Hades, Hive.
yeah, I was actually kind of surprised to see him when I was reading Hell's Reach, because he is like, even for someone who doesn't know a whole lot about some of the bigger characters in Warhammer, I wasn't expecting him to kind of show up in the first book that I kind of read. But then again, if Hell's Reach was really just that influential of a of a fight in the Warhammer universe, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense considering how much stuff kind of happened there, how many different kinds of players were there. Was that not where he lost his arm, or was that somewhere else?
In the Second War of Armageddon, he lost his arm and he replaced it with a stolen orc claw.
Yeah.
Because he is the mighty enemy of Graskul Makuk Thraka.
And since it's...
Why do I know that name, by the way?
I don't know. Why do you know that name?
It's just a fun name. Orcs names are fun. You just throw
Yeah.
these
Yeah, aren't
random
there...
consonants
Yeah,
together.
what are their gods? Zog
Gork and
and...
Mork.
Gork,
Yeah,
Gork and
Gork and Mork.
Gork and Mork.
Yeah. Gork and Mork. Gork is cunningly brutal, and Mork is brutally cunning. Or is it the opposite?
Gotcha.
Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah. I also just find it kind of like interesting the fact that you have this human character, because orcs, despite like how much they seem to think lowly of humans, the fact that
No, they don't.
They don't. They love humans.
They don't think lowly of humans at all.
They are the one faction in 40K that like really likes humans. Like
Yeah,
the Eldar.
orcs have a crush.
Okay. I guess
the
I've not
Eldar look at.
I guess I've just not noticed
the-
that from like the way that they verbalize it.
The way that it really goes is the Eldar look at humanity as these like baseless, horrible barbarians, and like that like are just going to make things worse. Which, I mean, they're factually correct, but
Monkeys.
glass elves shouldn't throw.
Well, yeah, like you really shouldn't be saying that when your species murder fucked a chaos god into existence.
I was going to say you have the Drakari, so you can't say a damn
Yeah,
thing. The Tau are very scared of the humans overall. The Tyranids
Now
think
they
they're
are.
yummy. Think they're yummy. Well, yeah, now they are. The Tyranids think they're yummy. The Orcs are just like, yo, these guys can party.
Yeah.
Interesting, because like I guess I'd always thought that it was exclusively Yarick that they felt that way about. I
Well,
wasn't.
they love
No.
Yarick, but good enemies are hard to find. So that good stuff.
My absolute favorite quote about or not really quote, but story about interactions between humans and orcs is the one where there's a group of humans that are basically being surrounded. They've been surrounded by orcs, and so they start basically
I know exactly what you're saying.
they've run out of ammunition effectively, and so
Oh!
start pretending that they're shooting.
They literally say pew.
Yeah.
And the orcs just start dying.
I
Like nothing is actually happening, but orcs are dying because they believe that the humans are so capable that they can just do this. And then the orcs turn around and respond to this by making a orc tank out of orcs.
and just saying
Like they
I'm
what do you call it? They Voltron together orc bodies
Yeah.
and just start using that as their combat.
Was that an official
vehicle.
story, or because I it was my understanding
That's official.
that is.
What was it? An unofficial? I thought it was an official
I thought it
story
was official.
told by. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an official story told by a human. I can't remember what position they had.
They weren't a common.
It was
Oh.
basically it was a
Okay.
yeah. It was a conversation between a couple of humans talking about the orcs, and this story was given.
But if we're talking about humans and orcs, there was a man that we had to talk about.
Oh, besides Yarek, is there another one?
Yeah, Caiaphas Cain, hero of the Imperium.
Oh, this is okay. This is new to me. You're gonna have to.
Oh, he's a comedy character. I fucking love him.
Okay, hold on. Let me. How do you spell that? I want to pull up a picture just to get like.
You're asking a dyslexic how to spell a Warhammer name?
Yes, I am. I get the distinct. I'm asking you specifically because I want to see what comedic images will come out.
Cain. I don't know.
I'm guessing. Okay.
CIAAPUS or something.
That's okay. I pulled up someone entirely different. I pulled up some kind of corn.
Yeah,
chaos.
I don't know this one.
You don't know Caiaphas Cain?
I'm sorry.
Here. He is the.
You said his name is Caiaphas Cain.
He's a cop.
Oh, Caiaphas.
Oh,
Caiaphas Cain.
So C's CIAPHAS
Caiaphas
space
Cain.
CAIN.
Yep, he is the biggest comedy character on the side of humanity. Because the general idea behind him in a lot of his stories is that he is a commissar because he faked it till he made it. He made it, and when he's in a fight, he literally ordered stupid things and then does his best to run away, and somehow it works out in his victories.
That's hilarious. Okay.
The
Uh,
guy literally there was an entire story where he runs away and somehow manages to kill an orc boss by like accidentally shooting something.
well, how about you go into because the next thing I wanted to kind of transition into are like favorite stories or stories that kind of stick out to us. So why don't you, I guess, tell us the story since I have never heard of this guy before. So educate me in any of it.
That's he is a commissar in the Imperial Guardsmen, which basically just the leader. They're the ones that like force the Imperial Guard to go through. Like, if you aren't marching, if you aren't fighting,
Mhm.
headshot because you are one of untold billions, and we've got other people to talk about. If you're feeling sympathy, the commissar is there to keep you in line. They are the effective officers of the Imperial Guard that are sent into the front lines to keep things moving. They aren't the generals and everything. They're the ones. They're the captains that order things around. Caiaphas, Caiaphas. I keep saying Caiaphas. My God, Caiaphas. Cain. Cain was a honestly normal-ish sort of guy that survived long enough to get promotion,
Mhm.
for lack of a better term. He was really good at the whole people talking part of war, where he could like convince and schmooze his way into like more advantageous positions so he had a better chance of surviving. And it worked so well that he eventually got the rank of commissar. And he goes like, "Oh yeah, I got all of these positions, I've got all these good digs, for lack of a better term." But then a orc raid happened, and well, he was in charge of the orders, so the Imperial Guard were just like, "Hey, orders!" And then he basically just puffs up his chest and just like points, like, "We'll fight." Like does a whole like D-Day Normandy speech and everything, and says, "We have to do this, this, and this. And while you're doing this, I will go secure this position by yourself. It has to be done." Oh, and then they go like, "Oh yeah, all right, Commissar, it's gonna work." And then they go off to that fight, and that guy runs the fuck away. Like he wants to be gone. He wants to be on a Thunderhawk that is outside of this planet system yesterday, and he's trying to run away. But in doing this, he runs into like a contingent of orcs, like really big orcs. I can't remember the specific names. I don't know if this one was a war boss or anything that were trying to flank the humans and everything, and they were going to destroy them. They basically it's like one of those moments in like a comedy anime where like one person opens a door, sees the like enemy right there. They both just look at one another and there's just silence for a moment before he like closes the door and he runs away. It was basically like Scooby-Doo level comedy in that bullshit.
That's
And he's like he's running away from these giant orcs and everything. And he's a shit shot. He can't fire a las gun. He can't fire a bolter with any thing. I think he cheated on his like marksmanship uh tests and everything to get a good grade. So he
that.
just keeps firing, and the orcs are just like, ah, he's valid. Like even as he retreats, he keeps fighting. This is a good guy. And in the back of his head is just like, please let me live, please let me live. And then the big joke for it is that like Emperor, please stop giving me your funniest battles, and the Emperor, but you are my silliest soldier. Like that's the big meme for him because he keeps firing, he keeps
Actually,
firing, he eventually shoots once, and then he ends up fucking uh like shooting this like down grenade or like an oil thing and blows them all up and makes them like catch fire and die. And then like he turns the corner and he realizes, ah shit, because I've destroyed the orc war boss and everything, the orcs are being routed. So he's like hailed as a hero of like, this is the perfect thing, and you did this by like soloing an orc war boss. You're the greatest ever, Commissar. Yeah, I did that intentionally.
So
And then
he's literally just I forget what his name is. That one character from One Punch Man who
yes,
yeah
yeah, he's king.
yeah he's
for
king.
one.
That's great.
And it
I mean,
keeps
there
happening
is
to him.
there is some exception to that because apparently, like, because I'm looking him up, apparently he would deliberately the only ones that he wouldn't run from
Mhm,
was when
yes,
sorcery is involved.
correct.
because he was of the opinion, effectively, that sorcery will get to you regardless of if you run. So better hunt it down than run away.
Correct. Like the guy has his fuck it moments, but by and large, he's a coward that has so many so much imposter syndrome that it would kill a man.
That's so cool.
I mean, it looks like he also doesn't like being referred to as commissar.
He
would
doesn't know.
prefer,
It's
yeah,
why he is. It's why he's he's one of the most loved commissars in the entire Imperium.
yeah. Honestly, from what I'm reading, I can get behind him because he seems like the most actually well-adjusted individual.
Unironically, yes.
Like believes in the divinity of Emperor of Mankind, but a distant divinity. So like, he's not actually gonna pay attention to you, you tiny schmuck.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah,
you better figure it out yourself because it's not.
his idea behind it is that
He's not going to save you.
he is an ant and he's not going to be saved. He's not one of the Emperor's angels. He's not like a really important at all. But like
Right.
again, he is God's silliest soldier.
I'm surprised I've not heard of this guy before.
Oh, he doesn't get brought up a good chunk of time outside of like deep lore conversations because he's not part of any particular
Stories.
factions.
Oh.
Like unlike Yarick, who has a lot of big things in like the Wars of Armageddon, Caiaphas's stories are very much tangential to like the big conflicts in Warhammer, whether it be the Wars of Armageddon or anything else. And more than that, he is roped into. This is a commissar of the Astra Militarum, so you don't really talk about that because a good chunk of Warhammer lore is on like overall factions and such.
Gotcha.
It also looks
So-
like he's a Sandy Mitchell creation and
Yep,
really
he is.
nobody else.
What are
Yeah,
what are some like stories that this guy is from? Because I'm now kind of interested to read up on him. Are there any in particular you would recommend, or like should I just
The one
look
that
up
you-
Caiaphas Cain and just anything is
yeah, you'll be fine.
okay?
He's great. He's great. Love the guy.
God, yeah, he looks.
Yeah, he is 100% Sandy Mitchell's creation.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah,
Well, on the
those
topic
are all
of
the novels he's in.
like characters that you
The Emperor's
guys like,
Finest, by the way, is probably the best.
Emperor's Finest. Okay.
The Emperor's Finest, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I will take note of that. That is on my list now. Oh, what about you, Ionios? Is there any characters or stories in particular that you like that you want to share about, or what's something like? Or is it just too big to list?
Unfortunately, yeah, I do not unfortunately have any real books that I was prepared to bring in off the top of my head, sort of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess. So let me, I guess, go into Hell's Reach since that's the most recent one that I had read. And Ion, you had said that you hadn't read that book before, or like, have you heard of like the events at Hell's Reach? You just hadn't read the book, or
I hadn't read the book.
Gotcha.
Honestly, most of my lore experience basically comes in just the what I can osmose, because I was primarily a player of the tabletop RPG. I would pull in lore from playing more than I would pull in lore from reading the books, because it is a difficult thing to really get heavy into.
Well, that's also true for like any kind of lore for a long spanning tabletop game. That's true for Forgotten Realms. That's true for Magic the Gathering, is that there is just so much stuff going on and so many different factions. And hell, Magic the Gathering it's a multiverse, not just a universe. And then you have so I can understand not that being kind of something to like. Hell, you said what, there were more than 400 official books in the
over 400.
Yeah, so I can understand.
I've read a couple of the books, but for the life of me I couldn't tell you which ones. I've read a couple about the squats, one about the blanks, but yeah, I can't. I cannot give you too much. I've the the shoot. I know I've read a bunch, not a bunch, like a good 7 or 8 of ones just about random uh chapters of the Imperium,
Mm.
but most of my book lore is just, well, human focus.
Yeah, no, that's
Well,
so. Yeah, go.
I've read a bunch of the books. Infinite the Divine is, as I said before, is a really good one. The one with probably my favorite moment in Warhammer lore is probably Echoes of Eternity, which is a Siege of Terra book.
You said
Which
Echoes of Eternity? Is that what you said it was called?
Echoes of Eternity.
Okay.
Yep, Siege of Terra, and it is a story where it mostly focuses on like the last defenses of humanity right before chaos breaches the like central part of the Imperial Palace and everything basically
Let me
dies.
look it up. I want to find
It,
Yeah.
it,
this.
Interesting.
it's if you know Warhammer lore, it's Sanguinius's last great stand before he dies. Like it's the book that has probably the most epic fight of like Sanguinius versus a fully demonic Angron, the two angels fighting as their sons made war on the earth, and like there's giant like it's basically just a giant anime sword fight as they're going through like I think the first thing that happens in this fight is that Angron pushes Sanguinius into and through a Titan
Oh
like
God.
the giant mech monster, and
Yeah.
they literally fight in the Titan for a bit and destroy it as they're fighting, and
That's
then just keep flying and working through. And it has if I could recommend something that we can look at for a few minutes,
yeah. Yeah. Go right ahead.
uh let me just bring there is a particular speech that Sanguinius makes at the gate of eternity. It is this right here. That it is probably the most epic speech that I've heard ever.
Oh yeah. Shoot. I would probably if I'm gonna play that here, I'd probably have to pull up watch together,
Oh,
get that set. I mean, I guess I can. It would take a little bit to get everything. Also, I wouldn't get struck, would I? Copyright.
no, it's
Okay.
it's it's not like a video. It's just someone acting out a voice. I've seen a bunch of people
Gotcha.
reacting to it. So
Okay. Yeah. Give me like just a couple seconds. I can see if I can
yeah, no
put a
worries.
watch together. I actually think I have a link. Hold on. I gotta the hold on. I gotta make your icons go away because I'm the way that I'm getting your icons to work is I'm streaming directly from Discord, and so if I'm gonna go into another window, it's gonna make that act up. So let me just close. Yeah, that's gonna go away for just a couple seconds. Um, I kept a link for a watch together potentially somewhere else. So let me just open that up. Uh, if you want to talk a little bit about it while I'm getting this set up. Otherwise, or I guess while I'm getting this set up, I'm gonna try to multitask a bit because I like
Yeah, no
to
worries.
keep things engaged while I'm streaming. Always trying to talk about something.
Yeah,
Is it a?
good thing to do.
I want to talk a little bit about the Hell's Reach that I finished reading because I thought it was that was because I really liked that book and I found myself liking Reclusiarch Grimaldus a lot more than
Yep.
I was kind of expecting to, because in a way it's and again this is coming from a guy who's like most experience with Warhammer media besides like the game are things like the Astartes animation and the animation from Amazon's Secret Level. So I like the most characterization, quote unquote, that I've gotten from like a Space Marine are just like, oh, look at how cool these guys are. Look at how cool these, you know, big bulky stormtroopers are. And so when I'm actually now being invested in these people with like helmets on and stuff like that. I am, and Primus was like another one I really liked. I liked this guy who was mourning for the loss of his friends and had to be like put in place. And then when his Reclusiarch was kind of doing the same, basically kind of being a doomer, you know, he fucking his underling punches him in the goddamn face, being like, pull your shit together. There were a lot of really cool moments in that book in general. For anyone who's wondering, the book I'm talking about, Hell's Reach, is the story of a recently promoted Space Marine named Grimaldus who became Reclusiarch, and because his former mentor died recently, and one of his first, if not his first, I don't quite remember, assignments was basically to defend this place called Hell's Reach on a planet called Armageddon. With those kinds of names, you know you're in for something. And he's very not into it at first because, like, I believe the very first line of the book is that I am going to die on this doomed planet. He's very much disappointed that this is going to be his legacy as Reclusiarch, is that he is going to be defending this admittedly important location in the Imperium, but that, where do I put the link for this? I'm sorry, I'm trying to multitask and it's not working. Okay, here we go. He is trying to defend this admittedly important location in the Imperium, but he understands that he will most likely die. Why won't the video pause? Please stop. And why can't I mute it? So, because to him, he wants to, like, do something that will further the Imperium, not just kind of, like, defend this spot that is just going to end with the deaths of tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, including himself. And he's just kind of like, yeah, this is kind of like what's going to happen to me. And he doesn't like it. Even early on, he's very much like, we can, like, take out the orcs from space. I don't have to, like, just be holed up here where we're just going to be attacked and bombarded and, you know, not much glory to be had. And he has this kind of, the story is very much kind of this realization of, like, it is just, you know, this is your duty. You are a servant of the God Emperor of mankind, and what needs to be done needs to be done. And it's so interesting, too, because I don't read a whole lot of stories about military kind of stories, or stories about characters in, like, military power and, you know, who have big responsibilities as strategic leaders and stuff like that. And not that, like, I'm not interested in that kind of stuff, but the fact that that's because there's a lot of really cool stuff to come about that. It feels oddly human, which is ironic because, like, the whole point of the Space Marines is that they are basically demigods. They are, you know, the God Emperor's angels. They're treated as angels to a respect. And the fact that this high-ranking angel is, you know, giving off a lot of, like, he's a lot of, like, very similar kind of relatable kind of struggles that someone else in that kind of position would have. Someone who is disappointed with the fact that he is in this position and doesn't feel like there's much glory to be found from that. It's oddly humanizing, and I really like that. Anyways, I think I've got this set up. I just need to send you the link. I'm surprised I was able to do that while talking about that and I was not expecting to be able to do all that.
Multitasking.
Yeah. So tell me if this works. And now I gotta get OBS. Let's see. Video source.
That seems to be working.
Okay. Let me add a new source. Oh wait, what am I doing? Adding a new source? I already have Firefox as a source. I can just stream that. All right, here we go. There we go.
There you go. Those were the books that I can quickly remember or quickly find
Battle of the
that I've read.
Fang. Good stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Space Wolves.
Now I gotta add in audio for Firefox because it's not gonna mean much if people can't hear it. Okay. Audio output capture. All right. Firefox.
And if you haven't read the Pariah, the Bequin series, I recommend it. It's a very interesting like mystery conspiracy sort in that universe. I'm a fan of mystery novels.
No, I gotcha. Have you heard of The Watcher in the Rain?
Yes! Holy shit, that was one I wanted to talk about. I
have not.
It's a horror book.
Yeah, so I actually read that a while back, I think when it first came out, because I was looking up ideas for a Dread campaign. I don't assume either of you have ever heard of a tabletop RPG system called Dread, have you?
Can't say that I have.
So, first thing, and it's understandable if you haven't, because it's a fairly small system, but the whole idea is it's a horror-based RPG system where everything, instead of like skill checks with like a roll of a dice, everything you do and whether or not you succeed at it is determined by your ability to pull a block from a Jenga tower.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, and that was kind of one of the reasons why it kind of drew me to it, because it felt, oh, this is interesting. And one of the in the main book they have like 3 different scenarios. One that's like werewolf theme, another that's like, oh, there's a traitor, there's like a Friday the 13th with like a traitor kind of spin to it. And then there was another one that was set in Warhammer. But I didn't just want to like use the base one, so I was trying to look for ideas, and so I looked up horror stories in like the Warhammer universe to kind of get a better idea. And Watcher in the Rain was, I think, the first one that came up. And I guess if you want to tell them about it, I know nothing, since you've read that one.
It's been a bit, so my memory might be a bit hazy, but it was effectively a horror story talking about just 2 different people that are low level in the Imperium. Nothing too crazy on hand. I think one person, she was basically the person that just sent out the orders for food to different places, just a receptionist for the lack of a better term. The other one was a traitor. Not like traitor, like a actual like, trader, not like a spice trader or anything. And it's this
An
whole
entrepreneur.
thing of this. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And they're going around just this back alley part of the place, and as they're going, the entrepreneur starts seeing something in this rainy city because the planet is like continuously raining. It's this like being in the edge. You pause that real quick, actually.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to, but I think someone keeps pressing play on it. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there it goes. It's just like this shadowy figure that just sort of points at it, and this is like this. It basically is just this mindfuck thing of like the entrepreneur's like, what is that? What is that? What is that? And the girl eventually comes out of just like, don't look at it. Just don't look at it. Just don't acknowledge it. Don't do anything. Don't look at it. And it just chases them through this place, and it's like, you don't know what it is. It's just this horrible thing that like makes them both go insane, and then it's eventually revealed that the girl already was insane by interacting with this thing for so long, and she was just putting up a front.
Well, it was my understanding it wasn't this thing that made her go insane. She was like, because this thing it was
both.
Oh,
it was both her. It was both her.
It was like a manifestation, or maybe not a manifestation of her guilt, but it was chasing her because of like her sins and her past deeds. And it was like a representation of, I guess, maybe the guilt that she wasn't feeling for. And that was part of the reason why, like, her not looking at it.
Oh, so it's the Babadook.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's functionally the Babadook, and it's revealed
the pee-pee poo-poo man.
she made a bunch of different things of like, oh, I'm going to confess all my things to you, entrepreneur, as you're dying. I actually sent a bunch of things to
Yes.
like send rotten food to the Imperium so that they all die. I have so much power. I can doom entire nations and countries because of everything. And then at the end of the book, they're caught up by a ship, and then
Mm.
the captain of the ship says, "All right, take them to the kitchens. Don't tell the crew what we're about to eat."
Yeah, it's the ending to that. It's so I love ironic endings, like I don't know if irony is the right word, but like the fact in a way just desserts, I guess is what you would call it, because like the whole
Functional, yeah.
reason why they're gonna cannibalize her, why they're gonna kill her for food, is because all their food that they have is rotten and can't be eaten, and they only received rotten food because of her actions, and so
Yeah.
her actions have secretly doomed her, which is just that's the the sweet poetic justice of it all, as morbid as all of it is. It's so I love that story. That was so cool.
Well, the funny thing about that is that's not even weird.
Mm.
Like to the Warhammer universe, humans eating humans is normal.
Oh, very much, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Like,
what was it? The standard like ration that the Imperial Guard have was made from calorie packs that like people are recycled into calorie packs to keep the war
Yeah.
machine going.
yeah.
Hey, it's efficient.
And also, yes, Parker, thank you. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm sorry I hadn't
I
really been interacting with. I usually interact with chat a lot more. It's just that I think because this is a much different topic than I normally talk about, I don't have a lot of my regulars.
Corpse Sense, a solid green. Thank you.
Yeah, Soylent Green is if you guys are unfamiliar, old
Can't
book.
say that. Can't say am familiar.
What Soylent Green?
So-
That's the name of a book or something, or
Well, Soylent Green it became the name of the film, if I remember correctly. But oh goodness, I want to say the title of the book was something like "Let's Eat People" or something like that.
Let me get your icons back on, by the way.
Mhm.
Yeah, keep talking.
But basically, it was no, excuse me, it was "Make Room, Make Room" was the title of the book. Basically, a dystopian society in which they use war as a way to do population control, and then use the bodies that war produces to make food to feed the population. And it
Soylent
revolves
Green is
around
people.
Say it again.
Soylent Green is
Soylent
people.
Green is people. That is the famous line that went around for a long time, especially because of the film, which was like one of the last lines of the film.
Interesting. I'll have to. I'm guessing that's a fan film, or because I'm guessing that's not.
No, I don't
Oh
think so.
no, yeah,
That's
no.
like
Soylent Green has nothing actually to do with Warhammer.
Oh.
it's just stating.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's just an old sci-fi. What's the term? Satirical take on some of our societal issues.
Oh, okay. I'll add it to the list. Also, Raichi, to answer your question that you asked all the way back, I think the whole crown numbering thing is based on I think that ranking is based on how
The top
many
fans.
yeah how many posts you've made. So I think Victor is number 1 because he's posted the most on all of my streams, and I think Raichi, because I'm seeing it only on like my regulars. So like Victor is a regular, Raichi is a regular, number 1 rival is a regular, and I'm guessing it's ranked based on whoever has made the most comments in all my streams cumulatively. At least I assume that's what it is. I probably have to look it up, but anyway, so now that I've finally gotten everything out of the way, let's listen to this speech of Sanguinius from Echoes of Eternity.
Yep.
Sure.
And
The general idea behind it is that it is a
Yeah, give us some background on this. So
Basically, it's the final fight of the Imperium. Like chaos is about to breach the walls of the Eternity Gate. No one really has the ability to help. No one can really assist here or there. Uh, they just have to like keep fighting and fighting, and all hope seems lost. And the last person to really make a stand is Sanguinius, as he speaks to all the Imperial Guardsmen, all of the remaining Astartes that are fighting with them and everything.
Gotcha.
During the Horus Heresy.
During the Horus Heresy. This is the Siege of Terra. Like, they've attacked Holy Terra, the world of humanity itself, and they're about to effectively just win.
All right. And this will not get me copyright struck in any way. All right. Just being... All right.
If it does, I apologize, but it's just a reading. It's basically someone voice acting a line from a book.
Okay, and it's not.
There's no animation.
Well, no. The reason why I asked about that is because, like, so this is a fan who is reading it. It's not like from an audio book, is it? Okay.
Yeah. It's a fan who's reading it.
Because I could imagine myself getting struck if I played like an audio book for a really long time.
To be fair, I mean, this is this person's property. However, we are constructively discussing it, and so we're adding to the information here.
And you guys are also watching it through watch together, so you are free to pause it and like comment on something if you want, so we can make it more transformative. If you yes. So I'm gonna play it in 3, 2, 1.
I do not want to be here.
No, the fuck you don't.
I do not want this present.
I don't think anyone wants to be in the Warhammer
future
universe.
That follows, even.
Oh, another thing to add for additional context to help you out. All the different Primarchs, each one of them has like a certain special ability that's unique to them in some form of way. Sanguinius, the Angel, he's an exceptionally good swordsmaster, divine level swordsman, really like charismatic and everything. His special power is the ability to see the future.
Ah. So he knows we're fucked then.
Give it a second.
We stand against our own brothers and sisters, with our backs to the Eternity Gate, and this is not a battle we can win. If you have ever wondered how you will die, now you know. If you have ever wondered where your body will lie, now you know. You will be killed on the last
G.I. Joe comes in.
hope and horror. Your body will lie here, unburied, staring up at a poisoned sky. Once the sanctum falls, terror falls with it. And I tell you, we cannot hold this wall. You can see it yourselves. They are too many. We are too few. We may last a week if we do the impossible. More likely, we will all be dead in 3 days. Perhaps my words surprise you or frighten you. But I will not lie. Not to you. Not to you who have come through 200 days of dread, only to find yourselves here. I have looked into your faces and seen what this war has cost all of you. I have followed the flow of battles that each of you has survived to stand here on the final battlement. I see everything you have endured. Those stories written in the light of your eyes. Now the War Master offers you the lie of life, promising a mercy his forces are incapable of showing. If we will abandon this last wall...
Horus is the War Master, by the way.
If we will abandon this last wall, and it falls to me here and now to tell you to stand against him one more time, to give everything you have, even your lives, if it will hold this rampart for another day, another hour, another second. That is what the moment demands of me, is it not? That I beg you to make one last sacrifice? No. No. I will not ask it of you. You have already given everything. You have already done everything asked of you 100 times and more. You have suffered through a wall of unimaginable darkness. One that has demanded more from you than any soldier in the history of our species has been forced to give. The fact that you still live, that you still fight. I cannot conceive of the courage and resilience it requires for you to face this town and look to the horizon with a rifle in your hands. Where Horus has offered only lies, I will offer you truth. Those of you that wish to run, run. Leave this place. Not in shame at a duty undone, not in surrender to the traitor's forces, but with honor. Go, with my gratitude, for you have already given everything asked of you. What right do I, does anyone, have to demand more? From you, who have endured harrowing beyond account, horror beyond measure. If you wish to fall back into the Sanctum Imperialis and spend the last hours of life with your children, then do so. Know that you go not only with my blessing, but with my envy. If you wish to leave the wall and take your chances in the wasteland before the battle begins, then, in the Emperor's name, you have earned the right to try.
Arise, riders of
And
Theoden!
carry with you the pride that you have
Death!
already given a hero's share in a war that none of us wanted, but were forced to fight.
Hold that for a second.
And if you wish for the truth,
You guys gonna pause?
I
Oh,
will give
no.
it to
oh,
you
any of you guys can pause if
for
you
you
want.
have earned that too.
Oh yeah, what's up, man?
No, I was, you said hold that for a second.
Yeah, I was gonna say
thought you were
the
asking
idea
to
of
pause.
no, hold that of just like Riders of Rohan,
Yeah.
Death, and everything else like that. Give it that. I was like, give it a second.
I couldn't help it, he was hyping me up.
But I would abandon this wall if I could. The Primarch in me, the supposed demigod half of my heart, craves life with a ferocity that shames me. If I bowed to that instinct, I would take to the sky and never look back. But I cannot. I am half human. And the human in me demands that I stay. There are legends about me. I hear them whispered among you every day. That I know the moment of my own death. The stories say this gives me courage. That I feel no fear, because I know I cannot yet be slain. Here is the truth of that tale. That prophesied death is coming. Today, tonight, tomorrow. I know not the when or the how, only that I feel fate's breath on the back of my neck. I do not remain here out of immortality's courage. I remain here because if I am to die, I choose this death. I choose to die with my back to the last door. I choose to give my life to buy another hour, or minute, or even a single second of grace to those who cannot be here fighting with me. I choose to die here because I do not believe I have yet given all I can. Someone must stand and fight. And if I have but one choice left, I will make it now. I will stand. I will fight. I will hold this wall, knowing that the 13th Legion makes for Terra with all speed. And if they cannot bring salvation, they will bring retribution. Whether I am alone, or whether 100,000 of you are by my side, when the War Master's horde descends upon this wall, they will find me waiting for them with a blade in hand. Not because I can win, but because it is right. I do not know what delusion grips those out there who were once our brothers and sisters, but I know it is right to oppose them. I have spoken enough. You need hear no more of my fears and confessions. All that remains is for me to ask. Will you run?
How about we ride? Ride for ruin and the world's ending! For death! Death! Now I want to watch Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, no, I get it. No one ran. They.
I mean,
the entire idea is that they effectively
That's awesome.
decided if we're going to die, we'll die next to the angel of man.
yeah. I mean, at some level, as I mean, I am a soldier, and at some level, I would rather die standing than die with my back to the enemy.
Let 'em, what's the whole thing? Better die on your feet than live on your knees, and what the quote is. But yeah, like Sanguinius during the Siege of Terra thinks he will for sure die via Horus, so he goes full blown Leroy Jenkins against everyone. Yeah, he does.
Awesome.
The guy, I think his final kill tally is just like countless numbers of Legion of Astartes, several Titans, Angron. Like he fights Angron, and Angron is a demon, so he can't die. Would you like to know Sanguinius' solution?
What?
He rips his brain out of his skull, then cuts off his head to display it.
Oh, Jesus.
He'll regenerate, but that'll hurt like hell.
It's just a flesh wound. Now I can imagine him doing the Monty Python skit.
Yeah, they're the demonic Primarchs are functionally immortal with what they're able to survive. Though, like, Fulgrim becomes like this demon snake thingy. I can't really comment beyond that, because he's weird.
Yeah.
And he gets hurt by Dorn. He just regenerates it.
And this is all in the Horus Heresy books?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm interested. I'm guessing this is closer to the end, or...
This is the book. This is book of the 14. This one is book. There is 1, 2, 3. There's 3 different books called The End and the Death, which are which is the battle like the final battle against Horus.
Gotcha.
Just don't expect to learn anything about the 2nd and the 11th because we don't talk about them.
Well, yeah, we don't. Actually, what 2nd? What 11th?
The 2nd and 11th books, or
no, 2nd and 11th legions.
Oh, okay.
It started out because they are
Is the
Sorry.
They did something so
Is the second-
unspeakable.
Are the second
the
legion
second
are the Iron Warriors, or am I thinking of a different
No,
legion?
they're not. The
Oh,
second,
no.
there is no name for the 2nd and the 11th legions. Both of them did something so horrible they're not remembered.
Oh, so we
And that is
literally do not talk about them. Okay.
Quite literally, yes. The entire thing is that like Horus was about to name one of the primary. Like I talked with Malkador of like choking him out. Where Horus tried to say something, but right after that, Malkador stopped him because they're just too evil and everything, what have you.
Gotcha.
Well,
Are those?
yeah,
Are they still
there's some
around? Or...
speculation that they may have been doing something like messing with their own gene seed and stuff, with trying to mutate their own space marines.
Yeah.
To build a
but,
stronger force, but there's no real definitive like idea of what the hell they did that was so bad, but it was so bad that their names and legions are struck from all record.
Yeah, the reason why they existed is because they exist for like as Parker mentioned, they're fan fiction slash homebrew legions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they allow you to
So you can okay,
Who
so
is he
they
like?
so mechanically speaking, they exist so that you can like make your own kind of
Yeah.
faction. Okay,
Basically, yeah.
yeah, and then they've just been added into lore
gotcha.
to do that. So
Okay, so what you're saying is if by some stroke of financial luck I ever happen to get into the miniature game and I see someone with a completely unrecognizable faction,
they're not allowed to use. You're not allowed to use homebrew stuff on official games.
Oh, okay.
But let's be honest, who
Oh,
plays that official Games Workshop crap
Correct.
anyways?
Oh, I'm probably gonna be like,
Yeah, it's like their troops got thrown into the Ultramarines and Imperial Fists, which is why they have more people. And it's hinted that Lehman Russ, the Primarch of the Space Wolves, is the one that like either killed them or captured them.
huh. Okay.
Because every single Primarch had a duty and a service they were going to do. Like Robot Gorilla Man, his entire thing is logistics. He was meant to basically just be a walking manager, yeah.
Yeah.
And keep everything going. Like Horus was meant to be the glue that kept all the Primarchs together. Sanguinius was both a like public morale booster and a swordsman. Lehman Russ's
Rogaldorn is your builder.
He's
your...
Rogaldorn.
Imperial Fist is he's Rogaldorn. He's the builder. He's the architect.
Yeah.
Lehman Russ's duty was to be a black work specialist. He was a Primarch made to kill other Primarchs.
Correct me if I'm wrong. If I remember right, there were backups within the Primarchs.
Correct.
So like you had multiple Primarchs with those duties, but
Correct.
because of the corruption issue, you lost all of the ones that were backups or in initials, which does bring up the question of did the Emperor foresee this, or was it just him being proactive?
Well, with how Malcador talks about it is that for the way that it was supposed to go down overall is that there was eventually going to be a culling of the different Primarchs. Not all of them were meant to make it to the quote-unquote final stand and everything. Some would just be thrown to the wayside for the most part after the Imperium quote-unquote won.
Right.
So
yeah, because all of the Primarchs being not human, like there's a reason they can't reproduce, right? It's because the Emperor and
castrated.
Yeah, the Emperor and Malcador did not want them to reproduce in any fashion, because then that would mean they created a superior human race that would out reproduce humans.
Yeah, Corvus Corax, Conrad Kurz both had things. The idea behind it is that a good chunk of the Primarchs were going to be killed in one form or another. There's theories on which Primarchs that the Emperor probably would have kept. Off the top of my head, the only ones that I can really make an argument for were he'd keep Horus, he'd keep Rubute Gorilla Man, he'd keep probably keep Dorn.
Yeah.
He'd
Well,
probably saying well, in a perfect world, Dorn or Perturabo, either one.
I'd have thought Perturabo, because Dorn had the mental issues.
Yeah, either one over. Like at the end of the day, it didn't overly matter. And like if nothing happened, actually, the one that he probably would have been most happy to keep would be Angron.
What were the mental issues that Dorn had? I mean, granted,
He's-
I don't know
he's-
anything about Rogel
he's a
Dorn outside of
dullard.
what I've seen from.
He's a dullard. The idea behind him is he's incapable of lying or like he's super blunt.
Okay.
The idea behind him is like he's just
Okay, that's what you mean. Okay, because
Yeah, he's as straightforward and simple as you can get, but like in doing so, he's an amazing architect and builder. He's just not creative.
no.
Gotcha.
He's very simple.
You ask him to build buildings, he'll build buildings. They'll be brutalist and concrete, but they'll be buildings, and they're not going to fall over.
Like he's the one that made the Imperial Palace to begin with. It was a big thing between him and Perturabo, because well,
I now appreciate the Rogel Dorn making waffles joke a lot more now.
Yeah.
From text to
Well,
speech
and
choice.
you mentioned he and Perturabo built the Imperial Palace, but
Yep.
the thing is, yeah, if he were to have been the only one to build it, it would just be a giant freaking concrete box. You know,
yeah, it would have been.
Perturabo is the one responsible for all of the pretty things. And actually, I've got a little description thing in video form if you want to play that from a Vox log from TTS.
Yeah, so long as it's from TTS, yeah, absolutely. I would love to show off some stuff from TTS. So let me first so if you want to drop a link for it.
Into or wherever.
Yeah, and then I will hold on. I'm gonna make your
Oh,
icons go
day in
away
the life
again.
of the boy.
Yes. Well, it's specifically this is the section where he's actually describing his little walk through the palace
yeah.
to get to the golden throne. And I've always thought that this was a bloody
Oh
brilliant
shit.
okay,
Uh-oh.
it's supposed to be from 12:30. No.
Oh, from 12. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean. All right, 12:30. I'll
You're
let you
good.
do it. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. You said 12:30. Okay, gotcha. All right. So let
again,
me-
this is him entering the actual palace, right?
Yeah. All right. Let me put your icons back on. Let me put away the Periodicast title. Let me go to full screen, and then I will let you press play so that we're not just constantly pausing and playing over each other.
Sure.
I am often by wardens of this ascended province, iridescently gleaming in luminosity, shone like Chiliad suns, reflecting the soul and
This
rich
is-
facts of the Man Emperor's million golden hues.
This is all
With them
inside
I
of the
follow as we
palace that
travel
he's
through colossal
describing.
chambers with roofs invisible to vision unassisted, whose uppermost reaches contain within them their own microclimates. So vast are they and so uncannily constructed. We strive for that most sacred light of lights, shining at the apogee of the sanctum, brightly burning like a galaxy of flame. We pass through mountain ranges of impossible height, the skulls of heroes whose names are now forgotten carved from their ancient summits, clouds of incense billowing around features worn smooth by the crushing passage of the years. Before our eyes, the apparitions of those who sold their very lives in holy service sit crying en masse. Choirs of the wailing souls of 10 long millennia, singing of their eternal, blissful agonies before shriveling to nothing at our approach. Throughout our journey, a slowly converging network of cables and machinery, varying in size from spindly threads to massives in their own right, all creep like mechanical vines towards the distant, pulsating light, winding their way through the gilded graveyards of these halls within whose coffins the corpses still scream. After uncountable time, after walking through lakes of plasma, halls of sleeping golems, valleys of pistons and pumps, pyramids of glimmering auramite, we reach the ultimate door, We're in big
The door.
skeleton sex.
But I mean, when you think about that, right? The scale and
Also,
and,
what the hell am I looking at?
that's a Voxcaster.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Bosscaster.
Okay, continue.
Don't question it. It's horrible, and yeah.
I will not question it as long as you
It's
Continue.
effectively the Empire's attempt at
radio.
large scale communication to the public.
Gotcha.
They've shoved machinery, basically giant speakers, into the bodies of people and have them stand around as town criers, but they're not the ones speaking. The Voxcaster is.
Oh,
to
wow,
answer
that's horrifying.
No, to add for what Parker is saying, yeah, the palace is the size of a continent. They rearranged and flattened the Himalayas.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Not
No,
really.
but that's the thing, is that's what I was getting at, is like the amount of technical and creative effort put into something like that is insane. And you noticed how he mentioned like the mountains of skulls and skeletons. Those are soldiers from like the Horus Heresy battle, whose bodies are still there.
Yep. They're rearranged as like crazy
Decoration.
bullshit.
Yeah.
That's
because
crazy.
they're like, this is the highest honor we can give you, is leave you here next to
The Emperor.
the Emperor, instead of burying you somewhere.
Interesting. I
Yeah,
would have thought that something like that would have been yeah, anyways. But yeah, this is all right, so interesting. I've not seen Day in the Life of Boy. Granted,
You should. It is.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, I really should probably have watched a lot more from their channel outside of just text-to-speech device. That's the main thing that I'm just familiar with them. Granted, well, I guess the Yu-Gi-Oh! Joke episodes, I guess, counted as text-to-speech device episodes. I don't quite remember if they were part of the same series or not.
So they are part of the same series. Interestingly enough, they still stick to pretty in-universe systems. They just run it off as a joke.
Paradox Billiards,
But some of the-
Vestroidian Roulette, fourth dimensional hypercube chess strip poker.
Yeah. But like the second game of that they play
With Zinch.
with Zinch is actually very kind of enlightening about the way Zinch and Magnus kind of relate to one another.
Really?
The way their contract and relationship sits.
Elaborate on that, because I don't. It's been a while since I've watched some of those episodes, so I don't quite remember what happened in that episode.
Well, I mean, the Zinch basically claimed Magnus's soul, right?
Yeah.
That is the what's the term? That is the contract that they had, is that Zinch would give Magnus all the knowledge he sought, which wasn't a direct thing.
Because after Magnus called the Emperor and destroyed things, the Emperor ordered Lehman Russ to like bring Magnus in, but Lehman Russ was just like, you know what, fuck it, we're going whole hog, we're killing like come on boys, we're killing the Thousand Sons, and the only way that they survived was making a deal with Zinch.
Yeah. But because of that, like Tzeentch and the Emperor are effectively half and half going in on ownership of Magnus, especially when you consider the existence of the Emperor as another Chaos God. And so Tzeentch continually is attempting to use Magnus as a functional pawn. This gives Magnus a little more agency and individuality as a person than some of the books do. And the idea there is just that they're trying to find a way of pulling Magnus's soul out of the ownership of Tzeentch in that episode. Which, by the way, I do think that's one of the other reasons why Games Workshop wasn't quite on board with letting TTS run.
Is because they were making a bunch of changes.
Well,
or things
yeah.
with, like,
Well,
the lore.
the biggest thing that they did is that the Emperor literally gathered a good chunk of his soul together and started poking Tzeentch in the eye until he gave Magnus's soul back.
Yeah.
Which is something that theoretically could happen, but that is universe breaking in Warhammer as it is today.
Yeah, the TTS, after a fashion, basically went, well, we could actually start improving things, so why not? We'll make this a story and improve the universe to some degree.
So that's what I thought, like, the whole joke of what if, granted, I can believe that it probably wasn't, like, how it intended, but I thought that, like, that was the whole joke of, if the Emperor had what would happen if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device? Well, if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device, the universe would be a lot better than it is right now, because, I mean, I don't know how, I don't think that's very true, but, like, or how true that is, but I could understand the joke, is that the idea that something so simple could improve a lot of stuff. I don't think...
The thing that they sort of get is that it was before a good chunk of the newer lore came back. Like, before, like, either the Lion or Rabute came back, they made a bunch of stuff. Like, it's a big mystery in the Warhammer community because Rabute came to talk to the Emperor, and the Emperor said to him, "Traitor." Oh. So, Daddy Dearest is probably has several crazy shit. But yes. GW is infamous when it comes to copyright.
Yeah, you don't say. I'm not even too familiar with Warhammer, and even I know about that. Yeah, and
really, yeah.
And like it sucks, especially because what a cliffhanger for TTS to end on.
Yes.
And it really.
They're kind of the Nintendo of tabletop games.
Yeah, they kind of are.
You know what? Actually, with how much Nintendo is kind of price hiking, you know what? I feel like Nintendo is slowly becoming more and more like games. Because
are you a Nintendo fan?
No. Well, I mean, I guess
okay.
I play Nintendo games, but no, I am not a defender of Nintendo, especially as of late. With like a bunch of with how they're now like normalizing $80 games. How much they've price hiked the Switch 2? Hell no. I want to like their game because their games are fun, but like, holy shit.
I feel bad for the Nintendo apologists. It's like Nintendo, Disney, Games Workshop, all the same sort of mindset.
I feel bad for the Nintendo fans who are not apologists for being part of a community with as many apologists as there are, because there are people, because like with the apologists, I don't know what I have to feel sorry about. If you're willing to put up with being mistreated with these price hikes, I mean, I envy that, I suppose, but some people can't shill out or aren't willing to shill out $80 for every
Not everybody's
game.
a whale.
Yeah, unfortunately. It's the people who aren't Nintendo stands that I feel sorry for, because they're the ones who are like, you know what, I don't think I'm willing to spend that much money for games that I love. And that's unfortunately kind of what's preventing me from, because I would like to get some Warhammer minis. It's just
I was going to say Parker, I actually already know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but well, after the final episode, they were going to use the machine to bring Kitten back to life, and then they go deeper into Mars, and then they'd have a special where he was going to have a Yu-Gi-Oh duel with the Void Dragon.
Oh, that sounds awesome. That's what they were gonna do before they got canceled?
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it. Well, one more reason to hate Games Workshop, I suppose.
Because the idea behind it is that, well, both the Emperor and Magnus were just like, yeah, no, bring this guy back. Bring Kitten Dad back.
Was Kitten Dad or was Kitten Mom?
No, he was dead.
Let's be honest.
He was dead.
He was, yeah.
Oh, you mean dad or mom?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. They, as said, the greatest defense against the forces of chaos is a positive parental figure. Literally everyone looking at the Emperor.
Yeah. No, that's the thing, is the Emperor was a crap dad. Like, he made the Primarchs, but he
He's a
treated
shit
them
dad.
as pools instead of
Sons.
people.
It was his exact words, I think, because they are not my sons, Malkador. None of them are. They are generals, architects, builders, pushers to make my new empire.
Right.
Yeah, and
Pawns.
I'm
They are.
you go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Pause.
Dorn probably
Literally just pause.
doesn't care
No,
too
I
much
said
about
pawn.
that. But yeah.
Pawn.
Oh, pawn.
Pawns. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. So I guess on the topic
TTS.
of fan animations, and I've been waiting for like a chance to talk about this, is Astartes, the animation,
Oh, yeah.
not the faction, both I suppose. Because so this, and because it's still mind-boggling watching it even now. The quality of the animation, the fact that it was made by one guy, and who is, I mean, at least he's working for Games Workshop. I mean, I guess for whether or not you consider that a good or bad thing, but like the fact that they bothered to hire him to make more official animations, as opposed to just shutting him down and not being allowed to do anything. I suppose like it could have gone worse for him. But even just looking at a lot of the quality for the animation, and even just a lot of it. So I kind of want to, I don't assume that I will get, I'll put up the icon just in case if I get struck. I don't, since it was, yeah, I'll put it up just in case. Because, so I kind of want, maybe I should I like screen share with you guys, or you guys want to like do a little commentary over it? Because I kind of want to ask a couple questions about this, just because it's, so I've seen it so many times and I'm still so fascinated.
It's not like
by
they
it.
say anything in the show or film.
Yeah, it's like a
film.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, there are some lines, I believe. If but like it's the two orbs that are communicating with one another. But like it's distorted. I believe someone translated it to, where's my notes? Orb 1, I have failed, brother. We have all failed. The Astartes defy our touch. You must return. Break your seal. And that was the orb that the Astartes found. And then the orb that's being held by the other Astartes in their spaceship was saying, we will never survive. Then Orb 1 says, you must take them. And then that's when the Inquisitor realizes something's up.
That's not an Inquisitor.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's not an Inquisitor? Oh.
There's no Inquisitor. There's no Inquisitor in Astartes.
Oh. Is it a Mechanicus, or who is it? Who's the guy that gets possessed?
Astropath.
Oh, that's yeah, I was going to say, that's an Astropath or a Navigator.
Okay. I just looked at the eye at the I don't know why I thought Inquisitor.
The eye is for the Imperium.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the Imperial Eye. He's like part of a particular legion.
Okay, I see. So yeah, and I think that's, and because he was overhearing that conversation between the two orbs, or at least I think that's the implication. So that's the only dialogue that I think exists in the entirety of the animation, and even then, like, it's heavily distorted because they're demonic orb things. But I guess as a question, so what All right, maybe since I'm already jumping into like the last 3 minutes of the animation for like anyone who hasn't already seen it. Granted, anyone watching, you guys can go.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, you got it's 12 minutes, it's 12 and a half minutes, and really you guys can like go watch it and come back in the time like before this stream even ends. So
Honestly, if anybody's stuck around this long, they've almost definitely already seen this. So
Yeah.
well, okay, well then we're talking for the people in the future after this has been
Oh, there's
posted.
Inquisitor-
and
oh,
it's
that's
no
the
longer-
Inquisitorial seal. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he.
Gotcha. Oh, so it
makes
is.
sense.
It is the Inquisitor.
It's not a. It's not anything. It's not a direct Inquisitor. They have a different They have a different uniform, but it's he's part of the Inquisition.
Okay.
He was probably an astropath of the Inquisition.
Got it. So he
if I had
worked
to
for the
guess.
Inquisition. He just wasn't an Inquisitor.
Yeah. My guess is agent.
yeah,
Okay.
he'd be an agent because it's the regalia that he's wearing. He's an astropath or a navigator.
Okay, so what? But the main point being, I wasn't wrong to say that the eye had to do with the Inquisition.
Correct.
Point for me.
Yeah.
Yay! I'm not as dumb as I make myself out to believe. Anyways, so what exactly? How much do you guys know about like the events going on here? So I've heard some. So at the very beginning, it's talking about the Argasa uprising. And I'm wondering if you guys know any lore behind that this doesn't, for like new people like myself who don't know much about it, because I'm not sure. I'm assuming that this is some kind of human rebellion of some kind. I don't know if there's any kind of background to that, or if this is all just fan stuff.
It's fan stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
It's
fan stuff.
the entirety of Astartes is that it's a particular space marine on a particular planet on a particular edge of the galaxy fighting against particular rebels that get transferred, like that the whole thing with like the skeletons and everything. Yeah, no fucking clue what that is. That's just pure fanon.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
There's
So
no-
that
there's nothing canon here. It's just a
Well, yeah.
interpretation of the Warhammer.
there's nothing canon here yet. Now that Astartes 2 is coming out, it will be
Well, fair
interesting.
enough, yes.
It will be interesting to know like if they.
Yeah, it was its entire homebrew shit, so we have no idea.
Yeah. Okay. So
To be fair, you had the individuals. Games Workshop made the Space Marine faction an actual faction. I can't recall
they did.
what the
oh,
the name of that faction was.
they were
Couldn't
well
tell
at the
ya.
very beginning. It said Retributor Astartes, which I'm guessing are Astartes that are meant to deal with uprisings and traitors such as
Maybe.
these.
No, I mean
It's all
any,
just guesswork at this point, really.
all the particular legions could fall into that. They could be like they could be like a different they could be like a different chapter. They could be a different they could be something like akin to Death Watch.
Yeah.
That's my guess. My guess is probably they're like
wanna,
akin to Death Watch.
You want to elaborate a little bit on Death Watch? Because I've heard the name before. I'm just not too familiar with like what
They're
their
a sect
whole
of different, like they're not Marines from any one particular legion. They're a conglomeration of legions. They are effectively the equivalent of spec ops soldiers for the
Yeah.
Gotcha.
for Astartes. Like sometimes you can be sent there as a Black Shield. Titus from the Warhammer games was sent there as a Black Shield. Was basically like, we don't care if you die, but just do what you need.
Gotcha.
They're also alien hunters.
Yeah, I got confused with them when they were first brought up in a conversation. I can't remember
Yeah,
because
but
I got them
Parker-
confused with the Death Guard. I remember someone
Aren't-
talking
aren't-
about it. I was like,
That's a legion.
yeah, that's
Aren't they all
chaos.
alien hunters when you think about it?
Yeah.
True, because that's true. Well, that's actually the great tragedy of things, because I can't remember where it was stated, but it was mentioned that there was a place in the Imperial Palace that was supposed to be used for Xenos delegations.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Emperor wasn't going to exterminate absolutely everything. If anything, he'd probably, if things went well, he probably would have made a alliance with the Craft World Eldar.
Oh yeah. No, I mean like there's a reason why he was inspired by the Webway, right?
Yeah.
Like Like,
the-
hey, that's a freaking great idea, guys. I want one.
So
I'll make
want
one myself.
I'll make one myself with golden and gold.
with
more
blackjack
gold.
and hookers.
No, not blackjack. More gold. More gold,
Yeah.
actually.
with gold jack and golden hookers.
Probably,
Gold
yeah.
skulls, some
Hey man, this is the same.
some imperial eagles.
I mean, this is the same person that it's the same faction that has like the church shall not raise an army of man ever again. All right, I'll make an army of women.
Really?
That's why they're sisters of battle. There's
That's
an entire
awesome.
schism in the ecclesiarchy, and the guy used fucking lawyerese in order to get something, and he was a horrible person, by the way. His final line before he was
freaking what's his name?
yeah, I know I can see his art, but I just remember his final word right before he was executed is like I can't die, I'm too busy.
Yeah. Gog Van Dyer.
Thank you, Gog Van Dyer. Yeah.
Gog Van Dyer. Huh.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh, that's the guy in the chair? Or
Yeah.
the name sounds
most of his-
familiar.
Most of his art has him in a chair.
Okay. Well, no, I was talking about like the guy from text to speech device. The
No.
name sounds familiar as
No,
so
no.
he
he's
wasn't.
dead. He's long since dead.
Gog Van Dyer has been dead for a long time.
Okay.
Like you have to remember that outside of the Primarchs, I'm talking the Loyalist side here. Chaos is different. Like the Loyalist Primarchs that have come back, Lion and Rabute, some of the Custodes, and some of the Sisters of Silence. There aren't anyone there. There hasn't been anyone that has actually seen the 31st millennia. Like outside of those specific people, like this is like thousands and thousands of years beyond even the Horus Heresy.
Gog Van Dyer was like shortly after
The fall of the Emperor.
Okay.
yeah.
I don't know who I was thinking. So I
You're
don't know.
thinking
What,
about the particular guy in text to speech that he's on that like big chair and he's got like
Yeah.
two people right next to him.
well, I don't know why
Uh,
I thought his name was Gog Van. The name just sounds familiar. I don't know why I confused him with that.
No, I'm pretty sure they mention like they make a joke about Gog Van Dyer in TTS.
Okay.
They do.
So maybe
Like-
that's where I've heard
Well,
it.
they do
G-O-G-E Van Dyer.
Well,
There
the-
is no more evil of a sounding of a name or something like that.
Yeah, and also they make a joke of because it's actually a mystery because there's a whole war between the Custodes and the Sisters of Battle, where the Sisters of Battle were going to invade. The Custodes would have whooped their ass, by the way, but the Custodes were like, "Yeah, we don't want to kill you," so he took the leader of the rebellion into the chamber. Like the leader of the Custodes took the leader of the rebellion with the Sisters of Battle into the chamber with the Emperor, and we don't know what was said, but as soon as she came out, she basically ordered that Gog Van Dyer be killed. And in TTS, Kitten brings her to the thing of the Emperor and says, like, yeah, you have to do this, this, and this. But she's too enamored looking and quite literally getting horny over watching the Emperor. And he was like, hey, yeah, go stop, Gog Van Dyer. Oh, okay. And then she leaves. And then in the distance, you hear, like, what is your final words? Like, do you have anything to say in your defense? I can't die. I'm too busy. Walter Gunshell. And then Kitten says something along the lines of, oh, that worked out.
That's funny. I should rewatch TTS because there's
good
a lot of I only watched through it that one time. I still remember a lot about it, but
I recommend it to people as a primer to get you started.
oh yeah.
Oh,
But,
very
like,
much, yeah.
there's so much more in depth to stuff that you gotta go looking for in the books and in other lore
Yeah.
games
Right.
and things.
Well, that's what's
My
so
favorite
great about it is that like it's not like I mean I don't even think within the short amount of time that it's been around I don't think it could cover like everything. It's still like it'll give you like enough to get interested in it, and then you can go and find more stuff about even just the stuff that they
The easy
touch
ways in are Emperor Text to Speech and Bricky's videos and Adeptus Ridiculous, the podcast.
Yeah. Bricky's videos are good. They're a little dry though. Well, I mean, not that the rest of it's not dry, but no, I mean like it's just kind of factual.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate his faction explaining this video more than anything else because he has a lot of memes put through, and yeah, pancreas no work. That's also a good one.
Pancreas, no word.
But
Okay.
good
No, I
stuff.
just-
Like
No, sorry.
there's a bit in his like every factions where he explaining like the Eldar and Slaanesh. He goes like they needed more murder, more more, always more. It's art, it's delicacy, it's life. This silence offends Slaanesh. Moment of silence. Wait, because he hadn't mentioned Slaanesh up until that point. Because he was like all these
Right.
chaos gods, and he doesn't really talk about Slaanesh, but he's like, wait a second.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I'm not saying Bricky's stuff is bad for
No, I
an
get-
entry person. It's just not something I'd tell people to go off of straight away. That's why I recommend the TTS first.
Mhm.
You get a base understanding, of wide level, and then you can go down into rabbit holes in Bricky's stuff, and yeah.
I mean, it's very telling that the first thing that the Emperor says in that show is about fucking time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fun fact, by the way, the same program that they used to make the Emperor's voice, Team 4-Star used to make the android voice in their parody.
Which android?
Android 19, the fat one.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
They
That
use the
does
same
sound kinda
voice.
similar.
They use the same engine, I believe.
I'm guessing TTS would have come first then.
No, actually. Team 4-Star started in 2008.
No, I
my
meant
guy.
like the TTS were like they were using that before
yeah.
TFS was.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah,
TFS was
that is
huge
true,
by
yes.
that time. I want to say they actually had like a professional voice actor as
Let
one
me
of the
actually look
characters.
this up really quick.
Because that was the early Android arc, and Dr. Giro was actually played by a popular anime dub voice actor around that time. So they were pretty big by then.
We are the gods of the new world order. Yep. 10 years ago. So yeah, it
We
was
are
pretty
the
deep.
Legion.
We are the
soldiers,
something.
the
Legion
legions
of
of
The
Light.
soldiers, the legions of light. Yeah, I was just saying that's not quite true.
We are the
Legions
center of the
Light.
death
Yeah.
of the sun,
Death of the
fire
sun,
and
fire
flame.
and
We
flame.
are one. Yes. It's so good. Did they make that, or is that an official line from something that I'm not familiar
I
with?
think it's a bit from Total Warhammer.
Oh, really?
Or some. I think it's from some game because there's one where you can play as the Blood Angels,
Gotcha.
and it has something like that. And it also, I think, We Are One is a big thing, but I don't know the exact origin point of it. I just know that there's a lot of funny mods that you can have
Gotcha.
for different Warhammer games of the Blood Angels screaming. Stuff in different like Warhammer Space Marine games. Like instead of like Titus, you can play a Crypt Marine, and he's literally just screaming at the top of his lungs at all the times. And like there's a bit where he gets like forced down by chaos magic, and he's like, "This mind will not defeat me."
On the topic of the Space Marine games, have either of you guys played those games? Because I have not played either of them,
I
and I'm not
mean,
familiar.
Yeah.
I haven't played them at all, man. I totally don't have 200 hours.
Oh. Well, I was asking partially if like you would recommend either of them, and whether or not you would recommend them as a place to start for someone. And
As a game,
yeah,
they're
just as a
fine.
game.
As someone trying to get into the lore, would I tell them to start there? No, God, no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Oh, is it that
It's
bad?
it's not bad. It's the fact that it uses a lot of modern lore stuff because
Okay.
literally at the start of the game, Titus becomes a Primaris Marine, and you don't even know what a Primaris Marine is.
This is at the start of the
I
first
assume.
game or the second game?
Second game.
Oh.
Second game.
Okay.
You have to remember the first game came out in like 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah. I think so. Well, yeah,
Also,
it was
by
a
the way,
while
they're
ago
making
because
a-
that was the 360.
They're making
Was
a
the
third one.
first game the one where you were basically on rails the entire time and it
Yes.
was mostly okay.
You
That's the
fought
one I've
you fought
played.
orcs in chaos. You fight
Yeah.
orcs in chaos. You fight
Yeah.
Khorne for chaos, which, unfortunate, my boys were not respected.
Yeah, because my brother got, well, I don't know if I would say that he got into Warhammer, but his first experience with Warhammer was the second Space Marine game, and I'd always kind of wondered, especially if you're starting from a sequel, I'd always kind of thought, is that a good place to start? I mean, granted, he probably doesn't care about the lore.
It's a fun enough spectacle game. I mean, my Warhammer loving heart loves that sort of game because, well, there's an entire section where you're being helped out by a dreadnought, which is a giant like tomb where an injured space marine is inside,
Yeah.
and it's like
Oh, is that
huge,
the-
big, and everything.
Is that the, where the fuck is Magnus? I don't know if you know what I'm
Yes,
talking
he,
about.
like the guy literally says like, "Where are the traitors? They are everywhere. Lead me to the slaughter." Then later he goes like, "I see his sons. Is Magnus here?" No. Pity.
Here, let me...
Bro was ready to scrap with a fucking Primarch.
Yeah, here, actually, go back to, Watch Together.
Yeah,
It's...
I'm there.
Alright, let me get that pulled up. Oh, what's happening?
The selected content.
Oh, it's
cannot
age
be
rest-
put in
what?
rush together.
Alright, fine, I will... It's age restricted, apparently. Alright, well, that's fine. I will play it just
You have to
on my
install a
end.
browser extension to play an age.
Yeah, how about no? I'll just
That's
stream it from
hilarious.
YouTube. I mean, you guys have it's a 10-second video. I'm sure you guys have already seen it. I will like link it to you guys. But I'll just play
Oh
this.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen this.
So let me just. All right, let me take away the title. And then I'm pretty sure audio should be playing.
Come, foolish Astartes. Time for a boss
Just
Where the fuck is Magnus?
bang.
I think my favorite joke is if you've seen the creator, I think it's Zanny. They show his POV of that, and there's like a picture of the dreadnought literally throwing the statue, and just says, "Hey, shit ass."
It does look fun, Space Marine 2.
It is pretty fun. I think it's quite nice. They just recently added a siege mode. It's less horde mode, where you could just keep fighting as long as you survive and everything.
Gotcha. Is there any reason why I would need to even look up the story of the first game before going to the second one, or do you think I could just jump right into the second?
Outside, the only thing that's really connected is
The main character?
you won't know who Leandros is overall, but that's not really too much craziness. The biggest thing that you can say for the first game is that Titus and a few Ultramarines go down to a planet. They fight off some orcs. It's chaos infected. Titus beats back a chaos sorcerer, and Leandros accuses him of heresy. And the second game basically just says, yeah, Titus is now here, and he's back in the Ultramarines after his quote-unquote penance, and that's it.
Gotcha. All
There's
right.
some context, nothing too crazy.
Okay. No, it looks fun. I might get into it.
And you fight the Nids.
Yay!
It's the Nids and a Chaos faction. I won't spoil.
I mean, I'm gonna be killing my
Actually, no,
favorite
actually-
faction, but like they'll get back up. Then just give a
Well,
little
you have to
back.
understand. No, you're not killing your favorite faction. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's just
The
just a
Tyranids,
frustration.
the Tyranids that you shoot, they're fine. They were meant to die anyway.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean that sincerely. How the
Oh, really?
Tyranids work is that all the biomass they send to destroy and everything, that was going to be recycled into new Tyranids anyway. So every time you shoot them, every kill, they were always meant to die.
Oh,
You have not
yeah,
stopped
that's
the
what you
invasion
meant.
in the slightest.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they
I see
are.
what
They are effectively, like you said earlier, they're effectively scouts. They are the dregs of Tyranid.
Mhm.
I can't say society.
Swarm?
And,
Is Swarm
I'll
the word?
Swarm works.
Hive.
The swarm works.
Well, I
Yeah,
guess
there's
hive is
a,
more
Yeah.
abbreviation.
a hive tyrant and there's the hive tyrants are like huge, even bigger tyrannids that
Yeah.
well, in game, I'll just say this: you blow it up and drop a bridge the size of a skyscraper on it, and it walks it off.
It's, God, this
And
big
then there's
bug faction.
then there's
I love it.
Then there's a giant one called Hive Tyrants and Swarm Lords. And would you like to know how big Swarm Lords can get?
I mean, I'm guessing. Okay, I know how big a Bio Titan is.
Wait a minute.
In comparison,
Are
to
we
that.
talking? Is this the stand on the side of the battlefield ones?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was like, I'd always wanted one, but it's like this. I mean, points wise, how the hell do you even play that?
You have to
But-
play it in like an 8,000 plus.
What did you
army.
say it was called?
No,
I want to
yeah.
pull up a picture of it.
It is the size of a Titan.
Oh, okay.
Swarm Lord.
Interesting.
Swarm Lord.
Gotcha.
They are giant. Like all factions have different like big boys. Like my favorite is probably obviously the Venerator class Titans of humanity, where like you know the like cathedrals with guns and all
Yeah.
that craziness.
Is
Those
that
giant guys.
is that the one that was in Hell's Reach? Venerator.
Yeah.
Okay.
To
And-
give. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
No, you first, please.
I was just say to give context, Pete. The size of the minis that we are referring to. You're familiar with the normal size of minis, right?
Oh yeah, no, I've seen the really big one, the what is it called, the Imperator class, and I've seen
It's
someone
like
who made like
2.5 feet tall.
yeah, I've
I have
seen
a friend who has
someone.
one of those, by the way.
Yeah.
And would you like to know how much it costs to fully set up and make?
Oh, those are
Couple thou.
those are official. I always
they're
thought
official.
Yeah.
I always thought that they were
there's
too
an entire
interesting. Okay.
there's an entire club called the Titan Club of people who literally go into tournaments with their Titans.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's stupid.
For everything, getting the model itself, painting it all, and all the time investment, 2.7K.
Yeah, here, let me
Yeah.
pull up an image for anyone.
Like I said, a
who
couple
appreciates-
thou.
Yeah.
A couple
So like
thou,
something
yeah.
like this.
Let me look real quick.
Yeah. So this is what I thought was the one from I
Yeah.
mean, granted I think that there were several different Titans in Hell's Reach, but the character, the Princeps, whatever her name was, I thought she was an Imperator class Titan.
Yep, no, these are the ones in Hell's Reach.
Oh, okay. All right, gotcha. Yeah,
You have to
those are
understand, Hell's Reach was a huge battle.
yeah, those are cool. I think what's also cool about this, so because again, I try not to like bring my Magic the
Yeah.
Gathering obsession into it, especially when I've already talked about it enough. So because there was a Warhammer set in Realms Beyond for Magic the Gathering. And obviously, like they probably couldn't add everything just because of how big the Warhammer universe is. But I almost wonder if like they specifically didn't, despite how iconic a Titan like this is, they couldn't have added it in because. Okay, to give you an idea, so you remember how I was talking about the Eldrazi earlier? So their attack and toughness is just at their weakest is just slightly above that of a Tyrannid Biotitan. So if they made a card of this thing, it would have been, I don't think it would have been game changing, but like it would have
This
stuck
thing
out.
steps on Biotitans.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I don't know how you would make this. Granted, they've made some pretty crazy cards in the past before.
I mean, the issue with Warhammer lore and craziness is like even this great Imperial class Titan. Again, Angron and Sanguinius literally fought on top of this thing and destroyed it, and they flew right through it like it wasn't even there.
it's so
Like there's the power levels of things get so crazy to the point where like I can't remember who his name is. It starts with an M, but he is like the embodiment of Sanguinius's rage and everything, and he psychically set a Tyrannid High Fleet on fire with his mind.
Also, does this just have a I'm sorry, am I looking at this right? Do these just have a gun on its crotch? Sorry.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yes, and you see that's you know that's free real estate for more guns.
Yeah. You remember what DACA is, correct?
Yeah, no, I remember.
They're the walking enforcement of the Second Amendment taken to the nth degree.
No, I'm just saying, if they ever, walk up to Zork, Zork's probably gonna be unimpressed. And then he's probably gonna get killed, but I'm making a penis joke is what I'm saying.
I know, I'm aware.
Anyways, so I don't really. So I was planning on making this a bit of a shorter stream. Normally we go on for like 4 hours, but I didn't really plan to do that But we went on much longer than I was. Oh, fantastic! They got the little boat. Oh, this is all 3D printed. Oh, this is even better now. Sorry. Okay, so for the uninitiated, this I forget what this is called. Do both of you guys know what this is? This boat right here?
Yeah.
It's as a 3D print. Like, do I need to?
Yeah,
I will explain it like to anyone who doesn't understand. But basically, this is it is a specially designed test print for 3D printers because it has a bunch of little details that are specifically made so you can actually test to see the quality of your 3D printer's output. So like the curvature of the front, I would have to like pull up a sheet that actually says as much. So like you can actually look at different parts, and on the bottom it's got text at the bottom, so you can actually see how well your printer will print like text, how well it can make curvatures at the front, how well it can make circular indents like at the front as well, box shapes, and in the center there is a chair, and it's the Iron Throne, which is supposed to test how detailed your 3D printer can make. And sorry, it's
not just testing the detail, but it's also something that you're intended to print one whenever you make a new printer or that sort of thing, for the express purpose of knowing that your printer is working properly.
Yeah.
Because like if you've got things set so that's too hot, or if it's touching the wrong thing, it's something that will easily be noticeable for, yes, we know this is broken.
Yeah. So
you were
so I didn't really have anything else. I did want to ask a little bit about the Astartes animation, but given that like what little bit we talked about, I'm assuming that most of my answers are just going to be it's a fan animation, we don't actually know.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so things about like the 2 psychers, and you guys already talked about the skeletons. Yeah. We don't know what the orbs are. So I guess that's just all the more. Damn it! I was hoping to like get some answers to get hyped for. Well, because I'm excited for Astartes 2, and I know it's not supposed to come out until next year, but
if we're going to settle in, I can give one more / famous story that I think brought out a lot of people into Warhammer.
Yeah, go
for in lore. I'm gonna ask Ion.
Sure.
Does the name Rylanor mean anything to you?
Rylanor.
I'm pretty sure Parker knows him. Rylanor.
It's familiar, but I'm
the
not
goat.
pulling out of my head.
The goat. So basically, to set the scene of the story of Rylanor, where there is a place called. Actually, the song actually does better for it, honestly. Let me just send this to you.
Oh, there's a song? Okay, am I going to get copywritten for it? Is it fan-made? Okay.
It's a fan-made song.
Okay,
dude.
I'm just checking. Listen, I'm with YouTube, I can never be sure. I will be as paranoid as possible.
I understand.
All right.
But the general idea behind it is that there was a place called Istvan III, where something happened called the Drop Site Massacre. During the early stages of the Horus Heresy, the Drop Site Massacre is where the Chaos Marines basically slaughtered a bunch of Loyalist Marines within their chapters, and other chapters just basically decimate the Loyalist forces to stop them. On this battlefield, the big battle that actually happened that was famous
All right, who
was
keeps
the battle
playing?
between was the
I'm
battle
trying to
between
pause this. I'm sorry. I pulled it up on
was the battle between Fulgrim, the Primarch of the Emperor's Children, and Ferrus Manus, the Primarch of the Iron Hands.
Mhm.
In that battle, Fulgrim cut off Ferrus Manus's head and killed him. And so like right when the like Horus Heresy was started, basically, that was like truly started, we had several loyalist legions decimated, one Primarch Corvus Corax nearly killed, and one Primarch absolutely killed, and everyone else was coming in. And this is the story of Rylanor, a dreadnought of the Emperor's Children, who was found by a group of Thousand Sons Space Marines that were like searching around, and they just happened to find a particular signal. So anyway, let's just listen to this real quick.
All right.
And yes, the tears, manly tears.
I wouldn't have with Warhammer. I wouldn't have it any other way.
The desolate soil. We heard the repeating cries of a fragment of metal. So true to Magnus's orders, I take my company's reins onto the surface we settle. And as we branch out and explore the wreckage, we uncover our terminal's long-lost message, a visage of the past and of beautiful cities. So what has occurred here? What are we missing?
All right.
There's something wrong here, there is something hidden. With every second growing closer, I feel it in me. My mind shudders while my heart races. A psychic scream like a crushing weight, resounding in every corner of the world. The ancient awaits. Wrapped in grief and beset by pain, it bides its time, all it does is wait. We shoulder the hardship now and we endure, and to its source we'll trace. The sight before my eyes is stark, a dreadnought here bearing the Emperor's Children's mark. Unexpectedly it interjects its pointed thoughts, awake once more, energy arcs. Across its words now, demanding to know, are we standing here gathered as friend or foe? Its shattered form yet still poses a threat to us all. It shall not be deceived, not ignored. I speak in half-truths and not invite alarm. I see through your words and I am not disarmed. We had learned from him to hold the truth with every breath. The wrong word here may mean death. Even your words may be twisted and turned into weapons. There is danger here with every phrase, now it beckons. I know the name of he who has me in his sights. I am he who remembers the ancient of rights. All at once the pieces come together in my mind. This faithless is clan free, and we are here upon its corpse on the grave that was left behind. Won't you convince yourself I am a remnant seeking saving? This is not a cry for help. This is a low I lead to invite something in need of staying.
So while the Thousand Sons legionaries were talking to Rylanor, this dreadnought, Fulgrim literally came in to teleport and starts, well, talking to his gene son.
Was this trap set for me, old one of mine? You look terrible, a disgrace even.
At last, Fulgrim, you have come to me, abomination.
Words uttered by a shattered pile of metal rust and stagnation. You've had millennia to think of what to tell me. You've my attention.
I need not glory nor for words to speak when I have held a virus bomb.
Oh.
So, to put this in perspective, the guy, quite literally, Rylanor, was waiting for his gene father to show up, and Fulgrim starts this entire speech, and Rylanor's response is to say, like, basically, yo, bitch, catch, and, like, activates a nuke right in front of him.
Oh.
It literally throws a nuke of just, hey, shit ass.
What book is this from? Or, like, where do I read about
This is Rylanor's book. I need to double check it.
I'll
find
look
it
up
in a second,
Rylanor
but-
and I'll find it somewhere. I'm sure.
You'll find it. But anyway, the Thousand Suns use their power to stop time around the fight, around the bomb. But then
As you do.
Yeah, of course. They are the
Pace to silence time. I channel him all of the strength I have. His power desperately relying on mine. And from my peripheral side, I can no longer see that frail shell devoid of its might, but rather a righteous being of defiance, who is not without the will to fight. Watch the dreadnought lash out in wrath. His blows deflected away from their path. Despite the years he has endured, it's clear that he will live and he will die by the sword. Fulgrim then returned to strike, his sword slitting through bravado and machine alike. His face a mix of content and glee, the eyes of one who can fade off misery. You can never be forgiven for the things that you've done, and so it falls to my hands, so in the prodigal son. You cannot imagine the beautiful bounty of chaos, those things I never even wish to know. There is still your potential that shines through. Imagine the unfulfilled glories we see too. That you still think I see can be glory, betrays the true blindness that has overcome you. I recall the virtues I stood for. I recall the struggles and the things that we have done. I will not be deterred from my vengeance. I remember the lessons passed on to the sons. I am one of the Emperor's children. I am Rylanor and I am the agent of right. So I reject it, but now I will always strike you down. I waited for a million nights. Inspired by the things I've heard, I raise my voice and shout clearly and out of turn. I know deserves better than you, oh Primarch. Rylanor deserves better than all of us. Hit by a single shot, for after rage relieved of duty and released of his task. I feel the virus rend me apart with my honor intact as I'm enveloped by the encroaching flash.
Although this body of mine's still intact, a part of my pride I feel will never come back.
So basically, Rylanor was a loyalist of his legion, despite everyone else basically turning traitor. And the guy was so based, he convinced traitor Astartes to say, "You know what, dude, you right," and then allowed the virus bomb to go off. And because he rejected Fulgrim's advances to be part of the legion and be part of everything, it forever wounded Fulgrim's pride, because his own Gene's son basically looked him dead in the eyes and says, "You're not right, you're not perfect."
What legion was he from?
Emperor's Children. The third legion.
Okay, Emperor's. Sorry, I just find that ironic that Emperor's Children is a traitor.
I mean, well, the funniest thing about them is that they're a traitor legion, and they're such trolls that their battle cry is for the Emperor. So, yeah.
That's not confusing at all.
Rylanor, very based.
That sounds like it.
And I mean, when you
about it.
Yeah.
Considering, by the way, Pete, for further context, that Fulgrim is a demon primarch of Slaanesh, whose focus is on perfection.
Yeah.
That's an extra, like, twist of the knife there to say you aren't perfect.
He looked at this literally ascended being, one of the most powerful people in the entirety of 40K in real space, and basically said, "You ain't shit. I'm going to nuke you."
It didn't work, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
But I mean,
I mean, the blow to his pride is not recoverable. He is still suffering from that.
So, worth it? Question mark.
Unironically, yes.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I mean, I feel. Oh, you know what would be a line to throw at him though? Would have been, "You're just like your dad."
Ooh.
Because after a fashion, you could claim that, right? He's his son, and you just did to me what Granddad did to you. Congrats, bud. Now I'm turning around again.
That's awesome.
I talked with my editor about it. We were talking about it, and he was like, "Do you think, as the nuke was happening, Rylanor just middle fingered Volgrim just as everything exploded?"
I just assumed that every word out of his mouth was just a middle finger, a verbal
This
middle
did
finger.
this did probably permanently nerf him a little because as a demon, having your pride damage you so badly. Yeah, no, unironically, I suspect it'll come back because Fulgrim is technically back in real space right now. He's one of the many Chaos Primarchs that have come back. I think they have 4 back. God damn. Angron, Mortarion, Magnus, Fulgrim. Yeah. I'm waiting for
Poor
Demon Lord
Angron, man.
I'm waiting for Demon Lord Perturabo, by the way. I know that guy's gonna look fucking metal.
Poor two. What did you say? Sorry, I want to look him up.
Poor Angron.
Poor Angram? Okay.
Angron.
No,
Oh.
Angron.
Poor
Angron-
Angron.
The demon
Angron is
Primarch
only
of Thorn.
a demon Primarch because he got friggin'
So
dealt the
effectively,
worst possible hand
Oh,
at birth.
this guy.
he was sent to a planet where he was forced to fight as a gladiator. He refused. They put old world tech that caused him unimaginable pain if he was feeling anything other than anger, which was actually the worst thing that could happen to him. Because fun fact, by the way, Angron was meant to be the healer.
Oh.
He had a special power which allowed him to heal mental wounds, and the guy. So it's a big. People say the Emperor was really bad because he just teleported Angron out and he didn't save any of the people that Angron was really close with, and that was a huge thing that drove Angron away. Well, in the Emperor's mind, if Angron was working perfectly, Angron would have felt that, used his own power on himself, cured himself of all the issues, and he'd be fine. The problem is, with the pain nails in his brain, he couldn't use his power.
And he looks familiar. Is he the guy who killed Yarek, or did Yarek die? I thought I've seen I saw some memes.
I cannot remember.
Okay. I know I've seen memes thrown around about some chaos leader of some kind who killed Yarek and a bunch of whichever orc was Yarek's biggest enemy really hates this demon specifically because he killed Yarek and he can't fight him again.
Correct. Yeah, that is correct.
Okay. Oh, that is Angrim, or you don't know?
I think that is Angron, yeah.
Okay.
Angron, not Angrim.
And why did I say Angrim? Angron.
Well, because there's Angron, Abaddon, Angrinus. There's a lot of Ang in Warhammer. Anyway,
a lot of angry people.
But hey, man, no, I'm happy you had me on, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I love talking about Warhammer.
Yeah. So this was all hastily put together because I realized, oh shit, after what happens next Saturday, it may be a little bit more difficult to get I Know Nothing on for anything.
Yeah.
And so I kind of had to throw this together really quickly. So for those of you who don't know, I have mentioned this briefly, that there is a Pathfinder campaign coming up. I have not talked much about it, and at the risk of possibly betraying some level of secrecy or surprise that Raymond wants to keep, I'm not going to talk about it that much more than I already have. But both me and I Know Nothing are a part of it, and it's going to be on Saturdays, and it's going to be just before my usual Saturday streams, which is why it would have been a little bit difficult to have him on later, because I would not want to subject you to 2 podcasts back to back. I will do that to myself because I hate myself, but I would not do that to one of my lovely guests, especially 2 people who I have a lot of respect for and I love talking with.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I'm glad actually that I got you guys to talk with each other as well, because I felt like, and I hope you guys enjoyed talking.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I'm also happy to have both met you, I Know Nothing, and
honor is mine, my man.
Yeah, and the subject is fun. I realize I haven't quite got the lexicon that you seem to have.
I have my day job every day. I have to drive an hour from my house just to get to my place of work, and I drive an hour back.
Audiobooks.
Yeah, a lot of audiobooks.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I burn through audiobooks, man. And
That's
there's a lot of
fair.
Warhammer books, so I just okay, I'm at it. I think I have 10 books in Horus Heresy that I need to finish, and then I'm done.
Actually, I know we're wrapping up, but I do have a question for the both of you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because
Go for it.
I have my own answer to this question. Um, if there is a single subject or uh like faction focus you could have a book or piece of media made for, what would it be regarding Warhammer?
And this piece of media or book can be about anything, or it just has to
Yeah,
be
anything in the Warhammer universe, just like a
Oh.
book or a game or something that you would want focused on.
If
Like
I
something
had
a
to,
story beat even that you would want to happen.
I mean, if I got my way, honestly, movie series about the Horus Heresy.
Yeah, I was about to say the exact same thing.
like
Fair.
have Cavill make a like 10-season epic of the Horus Heresy.
Dude, I would love.
Speaking of which, isn't that project with Henry Cavill still going on Amazon?
I believe so.
Like-
I don't think it's ever been talked about what exactly it will be covering, if it is adapting anything or if it's new material. But like, as far as I'm aware, it's still ongoing.
Yeah, but what's your answer, my man, Ion?
Oh no, personally, I want stuff like either about the age of technology and the age and the Men of Iron, the dark age of technology,
Idea actually to give
or
a anthology.
something recent. So,
Yeah, I was
go
like
ahead.
the Emperor of Mankind has been around for basically since humanity started. So
Oh,
a
yeah.
anthology series of him watching humanity, like from his perspective, watching humanity like go through the different steps, rise up, fall down, and then he forces himself to come out, and then like it could end with like say if you're aware of it, the Last Church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm aware. I think there's someone who does like little fan comics. I don't think that they go too like lore intensive into it, but I think there is someone who covers a little bit about probably most likely a non-canon, well, I mean, yeah, it's a fan work, kind of perspective of the Emperor's life before he was the Emperor.
I just remember, I think I know who you're talking about. The only comic I've seen from him is him riding up on a horse with a spear, looking at the Void Dragon, and he's just like, "Come at it, come at me, bitch."
I've not seen that, but now I want to go find it.
Oh yeah.
But besides that, I know nothing. Do you want to plug your book to the 5 people who are
Yes.
watching?
Might be people that know about me, but on Amazon, there's Caliburn Chronicle, my debut novel, and the sequel's going to be coming out soonish.
Yeah. Actually, I put
Cool.
the link to it in the description already, so anyone
Oh, I appreciate it.
who's...
Thank
yeah.
you.
Well, yeah, no, I figured, because I couldn't find if you have a YouTube channel, I couldn't find it, so I
I
just...
don't have a YouTube channel right
Yeah,
now.
so I just...
I have the basis of my first YouTube video. I am currently like halfway through editing it, but well, I just got a new job and it's been taking a lot of
Yeah,
time.
you do what you got to do. But yeah, no, I took the link that was in your Discord bio and I dropped it in there,
Yep.
which I'm assuming, yeah, that's the...
Yep, that is the book. It's for Kindle or paperback. Choose one.
Yeah, so if anyone's interested in that, down in the link. But with all that out of the way, thank you guys so much for having this talk. I'm glad that we could do this. And thank you, anyone who is watching in present or in the future. It's not one of the kind of topics that I think is particularly popular, but I like having these kinds of conversations about Warhammer or Outer Wilds just because I like picking your guys' brains. You guys are just people who I find particularly interested in talking to. But hopefully next week we will get back to some more popular kind of stuff, and I will be interacting more with my chat. But with all that out of the way, guys, you have an excellent night and stay platinum.
Have a good one.
You take care.